said, girl. What up, y'all? What up, what up, what up? We in this thing. I didn't save it. Oh my God, y'all. Forgot to make the prompt. What's the name of this? Sorry about that, y'all. Still, I hadn't made my damn prompt yet. Thought I did. Y'all just getting in this thing anyway, so guess I technically got time, but all right. Let's get it going. I'm ready. That's right, F Patriarchy. I got it. I got to plug in my phone. You right. Look, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now. Even before I even hit the live button, I'm gonna do it so I don't forget. Say, oh, girl. Shock me like electric eel. What's Gucci? It feel good to be home, baby. We back on this live, man. We back in the live, y'all. We did it. If you see me live, you know it's Sunday. You know it's Sunday. We back in the live. Really what? What I do? What's good, the Don? Yes, sir. Hold on, let me make sure everybody else can hear you though. That's the question. Can everybody else hear you? The answer is no. Okay. I believe everybody can hear you now.
Nice. You're trolling with this man or you're serious?
I don't troll.
Are you a homosexual?
Am I a homosexual? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Are you a homosexual?
If I was a homosexual, I would love men.
I mean,
see how dumb that question is? Are you a homosexual? Why are you concerned with another man's sexuality? Do you want to date me? Hold on, wait. Do you find me to be attractive? Hold on, Don. Do you find me to be attractive? Is that why you're concerned about my sexuality?
No, I know.
I'm not. I don't know what you look like. I'm not into men. But the fact that you come up here and hold on, Don. Hold on, Don. Hold on. The fact that you got up here and asked a grown man what is. Hold on, Don. You already tripping. You already crashing out. You came up here and asked. Hold on, Don. Don, you gonna get dropped. Don't do it. Hold on. You came up here and you Don. You about to. we on the short leash. Yeah, he dropped. That was the quickest crash out ever. I didn't understand it. Look, see how easy that is? He asked me if I was gay. But my thing is why would you ever question a man's sexuality if you not gay? Like, I don't care if you gay or straight. What that got to do with me? I don't like you. I don't want to hunch on you. So if you gay, cool. If you straight, cool. Oh, Don, now you got to get blocked. I'll let you come back up, but you about to get blocked though. You can come up or you can get blocked because you yapping. Don't go in the comments and start yapping.
I behave like a woman when I told you're the homosexual.
Well, you can think that though. I don't care.
You act like a woman. You prove my point.
That's right. Not offensive to me, Don. Yeah, that doesn't offend me. I'm not. That's not a. I'm not. I got you. Don, can I ask you a question? Serious question. Serious question.
I mean, coming from a homosexual.
Hold on, I got you. Okay, I got a serious question from a homosexual man. Are you married? There you go. You done. Now you got to get blocked. Now you getting blocked. Now you getting blocked. Hold on.
What the fuck?
I'm never. We not letting white T men use that word up here. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. I can't do it. That was a quick. Hey, you know what's crazy? I didn't expect the crash outs to be that fast. That's record time, y'all. That was 2 seconds. What up, John?
What's up, man?
Feeling, brother.
So, everything was fair. All was fair.
I didn't even use the word fair. I said equal, but yeah.
Equal. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry. Equal. If everything was equal, like what?
Like access to education, money, protections, things of that nature.
Why isn't that equal?
Because
men haven't made it not equal.
Because men haven't made it equitable or equal. Yes, that's why. I mean, we exercise the power to do it, but
well, for the ones able to exercise the power, how does that make us inferior?
Can I ask you, John? Can I ask you a question? You went to high school, right? You grew up in this country, correct? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. When you were in high school, were you a bully? Not at all, right? Hold on, John. Did you ever consider bullies to be superior to the people they were bullying, or did you just think of them as bullies?
No, I never consider him superior. I agree with him.
Huh?
I agree with him.
Yeah. So just because a person is a bully doesn't mean they're superior, correct?
Right.
Okay. So now ask your question again. So if men are bullies, if we bully everybody, are we superior to everybody, or are we just actually bullies? Hold on. Answer. Hold on. Answer that question. Does that make us superior, or does that just make us bullies?
Every time I say something, you're saying, hold on.
Yes, because I want you to answer my questions directly.
Okay. No.
It doesn't make us superior.
I agree with you. It doesn't make us superior.
Okay, so now we're starting out. Now we got to start all over again, because the point you were trying to make was men are superior because we bully everybody, but we're actually not superior. That actually proves that we're inferior, because typically bullies are inferior to everybody that they bully. Hence the reason they bully them. Correct?
Well, to be fair, like if someone bullied me in high school, it's because they had a physical advantage over me. They were able to bully me.
That's not true. That's not true at all. I've seen plenty of bullies get beat up. It just took for a person to want to do it. It wasn't that they were actually bully. That's my point, John. Most bullies couldn't fight. Most bullies were inferior in so many ways. That's why they used to prey on people. Because if they wouldn't pick on everybody, they would prey on certain people who they thought they had an advantage over. But typically that advantage was mental, not physical, usually. And it usually was the person getting bullied didn't want, they were like, I'm not want to fucking fight you. Like, what the fuck? We cool. I don't need no, you know what I mean?
If it's not you think of women, you're saying women don't have a physical advantage.
I'm not saying that. I don't think women, I don't think men or women have a physical advantage over one another.
What do you think is superior about them?
I think women are superior because they're proving to be superior. But I think, because they're smarter than us, they don't. I mean, let's go back. That women, that women aren't bullies shows the fact that they're superior to us. Just that alone, like that women are actually not the ones trying to dominate everything and destroy everything that they come in contact with or whatever to prove their superiority is in fact proof that they are superior to men, because that's all men want to do.
I'd say if they were more intellectually superior, they wouldn't be the victims in a bully situation.
Okay, again, so let's go back to my original question. Now you're contradicting yourself. So your point now is, because a minute ago you agreed with me. Now you're going back, right? So now you're saying that the people who get picked on are, again, inferior to the bullies, correct? Remember, you literally just agreed with me on this point, but now you're disagreeing with that same point. So I just want to make sure.
You think the male population bullies women?
Hold on. Yes, obviously, but you have to answer my question first. So men are the bullies in this instance, right? Because we're literally picking on a whole group of people just because we can.
I disagree with that entire sentiment.
Why?
Men bully women.
How not so? You already alluded to it.
Why do you say that? In what way?
In
what way do I bully a woman or you bully a woman?
But hold on. Now you're moving the goalposts. Men means the group of men. Not every single man is bullying a woman.
Give me an example.
How we restrict their rights. Remember when you initially came up? Huh?
Give me an example.
I gave you the example earlier, and then you asked me. You said, "So doesn't that prove that men are superior?" And then I gave you the analogy. Hold on, John. Stop fucking talking while I'm talking, because I'm trying to help you out. Hold on, John. Be quiet. Follow the conversation. I gave you the example initially, right? When I said that women, I was talking about. You were like, "Well, what's not equal?" And I said, "Well, they don't have access to education. They don't have access to resources like men do. They don't have the same protections." John, why are you talking while I'm talking? When I'm trying to explain this to you. Hold on.
Two-way conversation.
We are a two-way conversation. I love when you guys say that. Let me teach you how a conversation goes. When one person is talking, the other person is not. They are listening so that they can comprehend what the other person is saying. Two-way conversation does not mean you talk over me while I'm talking. When you ask me to explain my point, remember that. You asked me to explain it. Now I'm explaining it, and you're talking over me. Shut the fuck up and listen. This is why you missed it the first time. Jesus fucking Christ. So women don't have the same access to resources as men do, and they don't have the same protections as men do. And your response to that was, well, doesn't that prove that men are superior? Because and I'm just adding this part to it, but this was your point, because men restrict women from those rights, right? And I gave you the analogy of the bully actually not being superior to the bullied, and you agreed, and now you're talking in circles. because you've gone back on that point, and now you're saying, well, no, the bully is actually superior. That's how we got here.
The bully is inferior. But the bully loses in the end. What you're saying is the men have not lost in the end.
Men are losing though. Like we are losing currently. And to be honest with you, humanity is losing. It's not just men are losing. Humanity is losing, right? Because men make up half the population, and also we fuck up the whole world. So everybody is losing right now. It's just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not in the it's humanity, bro. It's the earth. It's been here for billions of years. It ain't gonna end like that, more than likely. Unless we're talking about a nuke, which men have control of, which men built, and which we're always at threat of one of those or a lot of those things going off because of men. So again, the proof that women are superior is the fact that women do not do those things. Women, that's not what women do as a group. You can find a woman. I know y'all gonna point to fucking Cleopatra or some random woman in our history like, they started a war. I don't give a fuck. Women aren't nearly as violent as men, and men are unnecessarily violent. I'm okay with killing some animals. All right, some skirmishes here and there. Men are unnecessarily violent compared to women. It's not even close, right? Because we are bullies, because we think it is our job to pick on everybody and subjugate everybody, which proves our inferiority complex. Because why do you need to do that? And then you ask, how do we do that? We do that by not stopping the bullies. Go ahead, Bruiser.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I think that women are bullies. I think that women are more covert and more deceptive with their bullying. But absolutely, women are bullies. They play more of a long game. So I think men are more overt and direct with their bullying, but women know how to maneuver and get what they want done based off of their deception. So I think it goes equally.
Can I ask you a question, Bruiser?
Inferior trait, though.
Can I ask you a question, Bruiser? Take it back to I like using the bully analogy. I think it's good and I think it's fitting. In what situation have you ever acknowledged where the bully, the person who was doing the bullying was simultaneously getting bullied by the person that they were bullying? Do you think that that's logical? Like, you know what I mean? Like, think. I want you to think about what I'm asking you. I guess technically it's possible, but in reality, though, when you try to actually play it out, if two people are bullying you, can two people equally bully each other? Does that even make sense? Because if it's equal, then it's not bullying, right? Do you understand the concept of what a bully is what I'm asking you?
I mean, yes, you can bully someone deceptively. You can.
No, I'm not asking you. Hold on, Bruiser. I'm not asking you how. Hold on, brother. I'm not asking you how do women bully men. That's not even what I'm asking you. I'm asking you if two people are capable of bullying each other, then is it still bullying? Is my question.
Yes, I'm trying to answer it. Two people can bully each other at the same time. The first one can provoke it by doing someone deceptive.
That doesn't make sense.
Throw a stone at. I'm trying to explain it because it can't make sense in 4 words. So you got to give me an
It literally doesn't. That doesn't make sense in 4 words. It already doesn't make sense.
What I'm saying is someone can start the problem, the bullying, deceptively, and then the reaction can be considered bullying.
Nobody would think that the reaction is bullying, sir.
Yeah.
Nobody constitutes that as bullying. Just so you know.
No, if you come in from the outside looking in and someone is overtly hitting someone, but you don't know what happened prior to that, the deceptive bullying that caused.
But that's not the scenario, though. But it's not a what if you saw it. That's
the explanation, sir.
I know, but that's hold on, Bruiser. I'm trying to tell you that explanation doesn't fly in this context because we actually do know what's going on because we are a part of the groups that are being bullied or bullying. So we know what's going on. We're not aliens. We're not. Go ahead, John. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, Bruiser. Hold on, Bruiser. Go ahead, John.
So example of like school style bullying would be the bully taking my lunch money or something like that.
Okay.
Can you give me a comparison to how men are bullying women in real life modern times?
Yeah. I love that you use money for an example. So men, right? Because we control the economic system, the economic apparatus in this country and globally. We basically just say that women don't deserve to be paid as much as men. And we don't like say it verbatim, but what we do is we funnel women into certain jobs, into certain careers, like nursing, like school, you know what I'm saying? Like, being school marms and teachers and, whatever you want to say, right? And then we pay those professions less because they're dominated by women, right? Yes, some men are in there. Yes, some men will get hit and whatever. But overwhelmingly, if it's dominated by women, it'll be paid less. Somebody mentioned it. The pink tax is another thing that women have to do, which is proven. And in some states, like in my state, they actually had to make a law to combat the pink tax because your razors cost 17% less than the razors. Our razors cost 17% less than a woman's razors, and they're made of the same shit, and so on and so forth, right? And I can keep going on and on. I can give you a bunch of examples of how society is pitted against women. I use this example all the time because it's a very good one. Do you drive a car, John?
Yeah.
You drive? I drive. Bruiser, do you drive?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So we all have cars, right? When you get in your car, have you ever had to think about like the likelihood that if you get into an accident, you know what I'm saying? Like where you're sitting is extremely dangerous. How, like where your seat position is in conjunction with the steering wheel. Have you ever had to think about that and be like, man, this is like extremely close? Like if I get into an accident and this airbag gets deployed, I may die from the fucking airbag being deployed.
I'm not sure where you're going with that.
I know, but
That's a good example.
I got you. I'm asking you this question.
Women actually pay less for insurance.
That's not even what I said, because women drive better than men. That's has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. The reason why that matters is because I'm 6 feet tall. When I get in the car, my wife is 5'2". When she gets in the car and I get in the car, I noticed this shit years ago and I'd never clocked it. But I was like, damn, you sit really close to the steering wheel. Like that is extremely. I sold cars for years and I knew. I was like, that's like extremely. John, listen to what I'm saying, sir. John, listen.
Listen to what I'm saying also.
No, what you're saying is irrelevant to what I'm saying. The reason why women pay less for insurance is because they're better drivers than men. That's why. The likelihood that they get injured or unalived in an accident, though, is higher because of the fact that cars are not built for women. They are built for men. They are built on our physiology. They look at the average size of a man and they go, okay, we'll make the car for the average size of the man. But the average size of the man, the average size of a man versus the average size of a woman are completely different. The physiological makeup. Again, you guys are all. Hold on, Bruiser.
You gotta stay with me on that.
No. This is again. I'm not allowing you guys to move the goalpost. One thought at a time. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why driving is more dangerous for women has nothing to do with how women drive, because women, proven by John's point, women are actually better drivers than men, meaning women take less risks when they drive. They are more defensive drivers. Men are offensive drivers. We're swerving in between lanes. We're going faster unnecessarily. We pay less attention, so on and so forth. Women are better drivers. They're AKA safer drivers than men are, right? That's why their insurance is less. The reason why women, but the reason why women, that's not up for you to disagree with. That is literally scientifically proven. That's not my opinion. It is scientifically proven. They are. No, that has, sir, Bruiser. Again,
60% of licensed drivers are men.
You guys are not. You guys don't know how. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. The way insurance, the payments, or I'm sorry, the way that they base insurance has nothing to do with what you guys are saying. They don't know how many miles you drive or whatever the fuck. They don't know about that. They know about your driving record. They know about the car you drive. They know your gender and they know your fucking age. That's what they do. So with those 4 things added up, women drive better than men. There's no debate there. There's no argument there. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear. I'm not about to argue. Hold on, wait. Sir, gentlemen, I am not arguing. Bruiser, stop. I'm telling you guys something seriously right now. We are not about to argue about facts or stats in this live. You can do that in another live. If you want to tell me your opinion on something that we could have a back and forth about, let's do it. I'm not arguing about stats or facts. I have no patience for that. What I'm telling you is a verifiable fact. If you don't believe me, tough luck. I don't give a fuck. But I'm not arguing with you about it.
Can we get back to the bullying point?
Yes, please. Let's get back to the point. Yes.
Yeah, let's get back to that. Can you finish your point on that?
Yeah. My point with bullying is that the whole point of a bully is there is a power dynamic at play where one person has power over the other person and they are able to exact that power over the other individual. So when you play that out the way you guys are talking about it, men versus women, that is basically the bully is the oppressor and the bullied are the oppressed. Women are the oppressed, men are the bullies. Oppressed cannot simultaneously oppress the oppressors. That doesn't make sense. It's never happened. That's not how it works. You need power to oppress. Women don't have the power. John already clocked it earlier. So you can't say that men and women are bullying each other. That's stupid. On its face is dumb. That's what I'm saying. The same way, if you
the bully gets the power.
I'll say it again, John.
How do you believe the bully gets the power?
Through coercion, through manipulation, through violence, through threat of violence, all types of ways. It's not one way, but basically through unscrupulous acts, pretty much.
But men are doing things for the approval of women, so women covertly have the.
Hold on, there you go again, moving the goalposts. there you go again, moving the goalposts. I'm not deflecting. Okay, what do men do for? Hold on, wait, Bruiser. What do men do? Hold on, brother. What do I am about to give you? I'm about to give you the floor to do it. What do men do for the approval of women? And what I want you to, how I want you to answer this is, think about it before you answer it for 1 second. What I want you to think about is, what do women say they want? And then what do men do to meet that? What do women first address? What do women say they want from men? Like, give me like 2 or 3 things. I don't know.
Power and privilege.
That's too vague.
And resources.
Okay, be a little more specific. Be a little more specific. Oh, you went out. I'm sorry, you cut out, brother.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They want the guy with the six. They want the guy with the 6 figures. They
Mhm.
want the guy that's 6 feet with a strong jawline.
Yep.
They want the guy that can give them safety and security.
Mhm.
And men quest that through war and through the attempt to take resources.
Okay, Bruiser. So let me ask you. Hold on, wait. I gotta wait.
Man, I'm sorry.
Hold on, I got another question for you then. Okay. So where did you hear that women want men that are 6 feet with a 6-pack and make 6 figures? Where did you hear that from? Who was the first person? Who was the first? I want you to say specifically, if you could think back, who is the first or last person you've heard say that? Was that person a man or a woman? Close your eyes and think about it.
I'm basing it on
No. See, there you go, trying to get out of it again. Answered. Hold on, brother. I want you. See, hey, brother, I already tried to tell you, it's only going to go one way in here. You're going to answer the questions directly. I'm not allowing y'all to move the goalposts. You're not. Listen, I'm going to ask you the question again, because this is a really easy question for you. Who was the first and or the last person who you heard say that women want a man that is 6 feet?
The person I heard say that was a woman on TikTok.
Okay. I don't believe you, but okay. And Bruiser, what was who was the last person you heard say that?
A female friend, a family member, my cousin, who was being blunt with me indirect. Okay. Now
I personally think both of you guys are lying. And you guys can say, you don't know and all. You're right. But I know, because I know for a fact that the first person who said that was not a woman. I know the person who popularized that phrase was not a woman. It was a man. Without a doubt. It was
though, sir.
Hold on. See, there you go, moving the goalposts around
The
again.
guy who doesn't have it.
The first, hold on. So can we all agree in here right now? Hold on, brother. No,
I feel like you keep moving the goalpost.
I haven't.
Yeah, you really are. Sir.
How? Tell me how I'm moving the goalposts, please.
Because it's not about what they say; it's about what they react to and what they accept.
Okay, so I have another question for you. I have a Bruiser. I have another question for you, John and Bruiser. Since that we are on the same thing, brother. If women want 6 feet, a 6-pack, and 6 figures, right? First question I have for you, John, is what percentage of men do you think fall in that category? Of all the available men in America?
A small percent.
Give me your percentage. Just guess off the top of your head. You don't even have to be right. I'm just curious. Like, what percentage do you think?
6 foot.
6 foot, 6-pack, and 6 figures. Yep. What percentage of men fall in that category? 20. You think 20% of men make 6 figures? No.
You told me to take a guess.
I know. I'm sorry. I thought you was gonna be realistic. My fault. My fault, John. You know what? John, you right. My bad. No, 20% of men don't make 6 figures in this country, white, black, or otherwise. Only 6% of black people make 6 figures. White people, it's more, but it ain't fucking 20%. Anyways, okay. What percentage of men are 6 feet? Or over? 6 foot or over? You think it's 20? So you think 20% of men are 6 feet or over?
That's a good point. You're probably right.
Yeah. Most men
Just that stat alone is probably
already blowing it out the water. Okay.
10% or something.
Yes. So now my question becomes, what percentage of people, men and women, heterosexual, are in relationships with one another, would you guess? Look, fuck percentage. Do you think most people are in relationships or have been in relationships? And do you think most people have been in relationships or are in a relationship right now?
Hey, YT,
Hold on, wait. Hold on, Bruiser. Let this man answer this question. Hold on, wait. Let that man answer. Bruiser, please don't interrupt, John. Go ahead, John.
Most people have been in a relationship.
Most people are or have been in a relationship, right?
I agree with that.
And when I say most, I'm saying the vast majority, correct?
I agree with that.
Okay, cool. So if the vast majority of women have been in a relationship, that means that they have been in a relationship with the vast majority of men, correct? Because men are included in this, right?
I agree with what you're saying.
Okay. So if that is the case, and we just determined that the vast majority of men aren't 6 feet, don't have a 6-pack, and damn sure don't make 6 figures, then wouldn't that disprove that that's what women actually want?
I think that's their goal, though, yeah.
Hey, YT, when are you gonna address me? I made the claim, sir.
Go ahead. What do you?
Questions that he didn't say.
I mean,
I said, why don't you ask me the question?
well, he agreed with you.
Because you're kind of deflecting it. You're not coming to me with that.
I'm not deflecting. I just want to go in order.
I want to hear a Bruiser.
He's trying to explain a statement he never made.
Go ahead, Bruiser. Harlem, you can come up, but you was.
Let's try me now. Ask me those questions, YT.
My name is a public offender, but go ahead. So what percentage? Well, we already answered the question, but what percentage of men are 6 feet, have a 6-pack, and make 6 figures?
Probably 10% to 6 to 10%.
Okay. And so let's say 10%. So that leaves 90% of men don't meet that criteria. Any one of those, if not all, but all three would make it even harder. But okay, so but the vast majority of men have been in relationships, correct? Or are in relationships?
That's incorrect.
How is that incorrect?
Well, just based off the divorce rates are upwards of 60%. So
hold on, wait.
Stay with me. You stay with me.
Oh my God, this is so annoying. No, listen to the question again. Bruiser, stop. Listen to my question again. One more time. The vast majority of men have been in relationships or currently are in relationships, correct?
Incorrect.
Okay. Let's try that again, because the divorce thing would actually prove what I'm saying. But go ahead. What are you saying? Don't say that again, because that doesn't actually disprove what I'm saying.
The majority of men have not been in real relationships.
There you go, moving the goalposts. There you go, moving the goalposts. Already don't care about your answer. If you can't have the conversation honestly, Bruiser, if you cannot have the conversation honestly, you can drop. If you're going to interrupt, you can drop. If you cannot, sir, I want the dialogue to be honest. I'm open for the dialogue, but it has to be honest. I cannot have you up here lying and gas. Hold on. There you go, getting mad and don't crash out. I cannot have you up here lying. It's not worth the time.
Oh, this guy's hilarious.
So you have to make sense first and foremost. If you quote stats, at least be correct, because the divorce rate isn't 60%. It's below 50% right now. It's actually the lowest it's been in fucking 30 years. Less and less people are getting divorced now than they've ever been in the last 30 or 40 years.
But people are getting married also.
No, the rate, again, see? This how I know y'all don't know what the fuck y'all be talking about. The rate of divorce has nothing to do with how many people are getting married. Do you understand the difference between the rate? So you're talking about the rate of marriage versus the rate of divorce. The rate of marriage is down over the last 50 years, right? Cool. The rate of divorce is not down. The rate of divorce, is not up. It's actually down. The rate of divorce is down.
It's a terrible investment.
Sir, you're moving the goalposts. I don't care about your thoughts on marriage. Hold on. You see how you keep trying to talk about the thing that I just said I don't care about? We could talk about marriage at a different time, but not right now. Right? You don't have a point. You're just trying to move the goalposts.
You heard what I said? If you're going to make a point, you got to stand on that point, sir.
What are you talking about?
You can't say that there's a upwards of 60% divorce rate and then say that relationships are thriving.
I never said that. I never said that. I never said. Hold on. I never said the state. I never commented on the state of the relationships. I never said the relationships were thriving or bad or what. I never said that. You're just talking, bro. You're just, hold on, Bruiser. You need to be quiet sometimes. I promise you, this will go a lot better because you are just talking. You're not actually saying anything, bro. You're just talking, and I'm not allowing you to gaslight me. Like, it's not gonna work. Go ahead, problematic. You got to try that with somebody else, man. Valley said, how can you be divorced but never in a relationship? Exactly. Just saying shit.
That's why I came up. Bruiser, I don't know if you understand what you're saying. I think you're confusing yourself, right? Like, his point seemed fairly obvious. So I'll try to say it. Maybe you can hear me. Maybe you'll jump all over the place like you've been doing, but I'm going to try. He was making. Hopefully, I'll get an opportunity to speak more than one sentence after you're done. The thing is you get to a different point. Every time he tries to direct what you're saying, you jump all over the place, right? Like, that's a part of the conversation.
You're still interrupting me. He literally can't talk. You literally don't let him talk.
That's why this conversation is coming to a halt. You interrupt everybody before they can finish making a point. Sir, I'm interrupted after 4 words.
Hold on.
And muted, by the way.
He and problematic is saying why, because you.
And that's the definition of gaslighting. When
that's not. No, you don't know.
You're still interrupting, bro. What the fuck? I can't be interrupting because I never finished. You are talking. If other people are talking and you're talking, that means you're interrupting. Problem, I can't.
Go ahead, problematic. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, man. I will let you finish your point after he finishes his. How about that? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to try to reiterate a point that's been being overlooked because you kind of keep getting all over the place, bro. So what he said was very simple. He said if men have been in relationships or are in relationships, then it would negate a point you made about women only wanting men with 6 feet, 6 figures,
6-pack,
whatever the fuck, 6-pack, right? And you brought up a divorce rate. Now, I don't know if you understand this, but to be divorced, you must have been in a fucking relationship.
It's really simple. It's just that simple.
A lot of say more than one thing.
Hold on. You can you acknowledge? Hold on, Bruiser. 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 Bruiser.
All right, so I'll wait till you guys are done.
No, I'm done. I'm asking you a question. Are you acknowledging what he is saying to you right now?
Monitor and censor my answer, though.
This is crazy.
It's becoming frustrating now.
This is crazy. You've been frustrated.
This is a weird dialogue, especially.
It's not a dialogue. You are trying to gaslight me. I'm not letting it happen, and you are getting mad. Man, this is what's happening. I'm not YT. My name is Public Offender. One more time. Okay. So what I want you to do, all I want you to do is first address what Problematic said. That's all I want you to do. Then you can go on to whatever else. Address what he just said, though.
He said that there's a high divorce rate because people are in relationships.
That's not what he said.
He said that people have to be in relationships to have a divorce rate. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what he was saying.
So then my answer to that, it never was a relationship because they were divorcing.
Okay.
So it's not a relationship because it didn't work. So it's not. It never was a relationship.
Hold on, let him finish. Problematic. Let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
You see what happens when I start to explain? So if it was an actual relationship, gentlemen, then they would still be married like our grandparents and parents who probably had a longer relationship and a longer marriage rate. So that was my point. It's not an actual relationship. It's what they thought in their head was a relationship, gentlemen. And that's why the divorce rates are upwards of 60% in America.
So I have a question for you.
I hope I said that.
You didn't. You're not making any sense. But I have a question for you. If have you ever been fired from a job or quit a job?
I have quit a job. I've never been fired.
Never been fired. Okay. Was that job that you quit? Was that not a real job because you quit it?
No, it wasn't a real job. No, it was not a real job.
So you didn't work? You didn't actually do real labor?
No, I worked, but that doesn't mean it was
okay. So if you worked, hold on. So what did you work?
Yeah, the purpose of the job is to benefit you.
Hold on, sir. What? Hold on. What did you work?
What do you mean? Explain. What do you mean?
What was it called? What did you work? Did you work a fucking job or not? A job. You quit an electrical job. It was a job. No matter what happened at the end, you had a fucking job, correct?
No. Two different things, first of all. You're talking relationships and jobs. You're in two different places. Bruiser. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Can I ask you a question? Because I'm confused as to what you're doing.
Oh my God. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, Problematic. Hold on, Bruiser. I got you. Hold on. I'm gonna let you finish right now. I gotta read some things real quick. Venice said, Bruiser, you a dummy, bitch. Teresa said, marriage rates are steady and divorce is declining. 70% of Americans are in relationships. Pew and the Census 2025. Drop Bruiser. That's 5 on his head. Stephanie said, Bruiser Woods, you a dummy, bitch. Valley said, when you die, remember you weren't it. Hold on, man. Damn, don't worry about me. I'm just reading the Cash Apps. Valley said, when you that'll get you dropped right there. Interrupting the Cash App reads, that'll get you dropped. Don't do that. Hold on. Valley said, that Valley said, when you die, remember you weren't an actual nigga. Because the shit ended. All right. Go ahead, Bruiser, and then finish up Problematic.
Yeah, this is why I can agree with your prompt that certain men are inferior. For you to read back those comments shows that you are an inferior male and you do have a lot to work on. And then to sit back and laugh at the immature comments when someone does.
Hey, Bruiser, in what way do you think? Hold on, wait, Bruiser. I got you. Hold on, Bruiser. No. I have a question for you now. In what way do you think you are superior to me? I'm just out of curiosity because you said some men are inferior. I'm just curious in what way.
I think I'm superior. I know I'm not inferior.
Well, you think you okay? So what?
Inferior?
Okay, so in what ways? Hold on. So in what ways are we equal?
In all ways, we equal. It's a balance. It's a yin and a yang. It's a perfect blend. It's a perfect harmony.
But hold on, wait. But in what ways? I mean, can you read as good as me? Do you think? Are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, can you do math as well as I can? You know what I mean? Like, what? In what ways are you?
Training and discipline, we can all do things equally. Yes.
No. I'm talking about today.
Yeah. What about today?
I'm saying today. In what? In today, in what ways are you and I equal? Because and the only reason I'm asking is because I do think you're inferior to me, and the reason why isn't because you're a dummy or whatever. It's because you're a liar.
Yeah, but man, you put in
nah, brother, don't do the whole you ain't never met me bullshit, nigga. You've been on here lying for the last 30 minutes. You've been in here lying for the last 30 minutes.
I'm here for the prompt, sir.
I'm here.
Say who's better than who. I don't care if you think you're better.
Bruiser, you're inferior, bitch. That's what Valerie said. That's what Vinny said. Huh?
You can't say those things that men are inferior unless you're.
I can.
How did you talk like that?
Easily. Men are inferior to women.
Who raised you?
My mama.
You were raised by your grandmother, wasn't you?
I was raised by my mama.
Did she teach you how to play football?
My mom, no.
Grandma taught you how to play football, didn't she?
No.
So how did you put something up like this?
My coaches taught me how to play football. Coach, you know what my first coach was? Shout out to Coach Neely, man. Hold on. Shout out to Coach Neely. Coach Neely was my first coach. He was a military dude. He loved the Lord. He believed in Jesus. He do Bible study with us and stuff. He was like the hood father because didn't nobody have no daddy in my hood. Everybody daddy was gone. He was the only he was a father figure. He was a legit father figure though. He went beyond what coach, like he communed with us. He bought us hold on, Bruiser. Please shut the fuck up. He brought us pizzas. He had movie nights. He tried to make sure we had somewhere safe to be and we didn't have to be all out in the hood all the time. He did that. He did that year round. So shout out to Coach Neely, man. He was a solid black man. Nigel said, I ain't gonna hold you. You a dummy, bitch. Every time they say it get funnier, dude. God damn.
You need to join the boys club, man. I don't know what happened to you, man.
I don't want to join the boys club.
Bruiser as a woman.
That sound gay.
This is a man's conversation, man.
You
weak.
You are the weaker.
Here we go.
Hey, hold on.
Even grasp the conversation,
right? Yo, YT. What type of games you play, YT?
He can't even tell whether I'm a woman or a man due to my photos. So that shows how stupid.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, Bruiser.
The weakest link.
This is man talk, YT. Why would you bring this woman up here to insult? You know she came up here just.
But you're not a man. You can't even grasp the conversation. You can't even answer the question.
This is man talk.
You're not in that category. You don't deserve to be labeled as a man in that category because you can't even listen to the man that is talking to you.
He's not a man.
Hey, Shalia said, hold on, y'all. Give me a second. Shalia said, Bruiser gotta go. That's 20 on Bruiser head.
Put it on the prompt that he's a Bruiser. If you're a man, show some respect. He's a coward. Fucking mic muted. He's a coward.
Who am I afraid of, Bruiser? Hold on. I see. Hold on. Y'all tripping. Bruiser. Who am I afraid of? Oh, he ran. He dropped, y'all. Yeah, that boy was all over the place. He was all over the place with it.
Oh my God. I don't know how you have the patience, bro.
I don't. I don't have the patience.
If I can say this, and I'll get out of here.
Bet.
Bruiser shit dropping. This was directed at Bruiser. Bruiser, one, it's unfortunate that you're a grown man and don't understand what an analogy is. When he tried to give the analogy about a job and you trying to redefine relationships. At the end of the day, if you don't feel like the people had a great relationship, you can make that assertion. If you don't feel like they had a long-lasting relationship, you can make that assertion. But to say that because a relationship ended, it wasn't a relationship, is some of the most asinine shit I've heard a person get on this app and say in a while. And I hear a lot of dumb shit.
Every day. I hear dumb shit every day on this app. And that shit was one of the dumbest things I've heard this week. Easily. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not a relationship. That's a relationship. Then he ran right to the point and tried to deflect and was like, no, it's not a real job. What do you mean it wasn't a job? What are you talking about?
He literally called it an electrical job. He said electrical job. He used the word.
It was in the description. Yeah, it was an electrical job. Oh, job then. No. So anyways, that's a totally different thing. Why is it a different thing? This is fucking same concept. You're saying because you got fired or because you quit, it wasn't a job. That's the same fucking logic. Because the relationship ended, it wasn't a quote unquote real relationship. Okay. Jennifer said, we could vote to boot Bruiser. Trash took himself out. Oh, they gave you a they gave you a violation? I think they gave you a violation, problematic. Go on and spin the block. I don't know. It just came up and said guest violation. Bet. Nia said, YT means YouTube. You a real dummy. 5 on Bruiser. He gone, y'all, just so you know. Oh, man. Is we finished or is we done? 51 minutes. That was quick. Y'all. All I said was men are inferior. What's the problem? What's so bad with saying men are inferior? Huh? What is so bad about me saying men are inferior? I don't get it. What did I do? That was all I said. All I said was men are inferior. Them boys did everything but listen. They were so mad. Look, if you come up and you a man, just know if you arguing, man or woman, I don't care. If you come up and you arguing and I ask you a question and you try to deflect, you get muted. I'm not letting y'all do that shit no more. That shit boring. Y'all take the conversation got to go around the world and before we start to really have it. Because you motherfuckers want to take it every goddamn way. I ask you a question, you try to slip out the back door. Answer the goddamn question. Answer the goddamn question. Please. Jesus Christ. I'm tired of that shit. I ask y'all a question. Y'all want to do everything but answer the motherfucker. Because you know if you answer the question, the conversation gonna end quick. It's over. The whole shit be done in 5 minutes. Remember, old boy came up here and I brought up the bully analogy, and he initially said, bullying is you're inferior. And he couldn't get out of that shit. He couldn't figure out a way to get out of it later on. So instead of him trying to explain it away like Bruiser's dumb ass did, he just reverted back and acted like he never said that if you're a bully, you're inferior. He just tried to act like I was going to forget that. Like, no, I mean, and then he was like, well, and how are men bullying women? I already told you at the very beginning. I told you how men were bullying women. Motherfucker tried to say women insurance is lower for women. Look, I'm going to use that as a prime example. Women having lower car insurance than men proves that women are superior. And here's why. Because with all the odds stacked against them, right, with cars not being built for them, they are still better drivers than men. Think about that. The cars are not built for women, but they're still better drivers than men. So follow me, man. Follow me. Imagine if the cars were built for women. Are you connecting the fucking dot now, John? Bruiser? You hear what I'm saying? Now, take that scenario and extrapolate it across every fucking thing in society. Imagine if all things were equal. If they're beating us with the odds stacked against them, imagine what they would do if the odds weren't stacked against them. That's all I'm trying to say. It proves that they are indeed superior. Men are inferior. It don't mean we always have to be, but we are today. We getting our asses whooped. And they're not even mean about it. They're not even like trying to do it. So they just literally just doing what they're doing, and they just whooping our ass like it's easy. They make it look easy, Ellie. It ain't actually easy, but they making it look easy. It's like easy. Like fuck. They stomping a mud hole in us. With all the weights and everything on top of them and all the shit they got to carry and get through and drudge through and all, and they still beating us. And they're either keeping pace with us or beating us in the vast majority of cases. Siren said in heels. That's all I'm trying to say. God damn. What is the beef? Where is the problem? What up, Steffi? What up, Steffi?
Hey, I didn't even mean to come up, but I did have a question or comments. Can you explain how cars are not built for women? This is my first time hearing about this. I'm curious.
Yeah, so the cars aren't tested on, like medicine isn't tested on women and stuff like that. Like when they built the cars, they don't put the average size with like a dummy in there. You know what I mean? Like a female like shaped dummy, like a 5'6", 135-pound dummy in there with breasts.
Oh, they don't consider our proportions.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
make it for. That's why I was saying my wife is 5'2". Look. When I'm 6 feet, so when I drive the steering wheel away, you know what I mean? Like I'm, my arm long as fuck. I'm in that motherfucker like this, right? My wife be the steering wheel right here on her.
I see.
See what I'm saying? Because her feet can't touch the pedal, and she can see, so she gotta see over the steering wheel, touch the pedal, and steer the steering wheel at the same time, right? How the fuck, like, you're 5'2", the car's not made for her. So if she gets into an accident and that airbag comes out, shit right here, shit right in her face. It's gonna that probably be the thing that caused more damage to her than the actual car accident. You know what I'm saying? So, and women, they get injured more in car accidents, not because a man and a woman in the same car, driving the same speed, getting the same type of accident. Women are like 17% more likely to get injured and unalived or whatever the case may be, right? Because the car isn't built for them. That's all. That's what it is. So my point is, like I said, if you built the car for a woman, if you built the car for her so she could see over the steering wheel comfortably, she could touch the pedals comfortably, everything is safe for her, how much better drivers would they be? They would be significantly better drivers than men. They already are better drivers than men. But that's
an original thought for me. I've never thought about that.
Yeah, and Steffi, what I'm saying is that example though, you can literally just apply that to like every fucking thing. It's like the same thing over and over and over again. It's like that thing is built for men. Imagine if you built it with women in mind. Not to say you built it for women, but you built it with women in mind as well, right? So everybody could, like have equity. Cool.
And when you say women are better drivers, I'm thinking that women are better drivers because we take less risk when it comes to driving. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yep.
I agree with that.
Yeah. That's what makes you a better driver, right? The results is what the person who makes it home every single day is the better driver.
Correct. When we're thinking about our children, we're not trying to speed at the race. We're not trying to race nobody to be our children back in the car. Foresight. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So
go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah. So like in every way, like women are better, like, but like hand eye, okay, cool. Men are better drivers if we talking about on the racetrack, or I think even if you were talking about like avoiding an accident, if you gave women 0.3 seconds to react and gave men 0.3 seconds to react, okay, the men probably outperform the women, fine. Who cares? But the point is that women would far less likely be in a scenario where they need to react in 0.3 seconds than men. Like men constantly have to react in 0.3 seconds because we constantly not paying attention. And like you said, driving fast, trying to race motherfuckers and all that stuff. Women aren't doing that. So they have, they create a buffer so they don't have to worry about that as much.
And I just tuned in, so I'm assuming you've had a lot of crash outs before I tuned in.
2.
Oh, okay. So most men have been agreeing with you.
Oh, no. Just the 2. I mean, we only had 2 come up so far, and then problematic came up and he agreed.
Oh, so you haven't been up that long.
Mm-hmm. Only been up
You
for
can drop-
60 minutes.
oh, you can drop me. I'll make room for the people. I'll be watching.
Thanks, Steffi.
Hello.
What up? Hayos? Hayos. 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 Like chaos.
Yeah.
What's up, brother? You got a lot of background noise. You all right? Sound like you like in a barbershop.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, my mic is a bit off, but hopefully we can still hear each other.
I can hear you.
But I just want to say very quickly, so why are most race drivers men?
I just told you why, sir. And you have to look. Hold on. Wait. When I say the thing and I give the example, this is not for you to try to come up here and debunk what I'm saying, because what I said is, again, scientifically proven. It's not like a theoretical discussion. When we say better, we mean safer. Thanks, Steffi. When we say better, we mean safer. Yes.
Safer is because of their cowardly. They don't take risks.
Whatever you want to say it is, women are safer. If you call being a coward not driving going 100 miles an hour on the freeway makes him a coward, and so be it. You're just a fucking dummy.
But that's not skill.
Who cares? Again, who cares?
I care because you're saying inferior. Like, how are you inferior? All you do is drive like a grandma.
Yeah, grandmas drive safe and they get you home safely.
Okay, so you're superior at what? You're just superior at driving like a grandma. How is that good? How's that superior?
Do you not understand that actually the reason why men take more risk is because we are fucking stupid? To take unnecessary, think about what you're saying. To take unnecessary risks hold on, Hayos. To take unnecessary risks means you're stupid. You see what I'm saying? You have like Steffi just pointed out, women have their kids in the car, their husband will be in the car with them, other people will be in the car. They're in the car. They're driving safely because other people's lives are depending on them. This is not even that deep. Sir, if you had the option to be driven home by a man who is, it doesn't even matter. If you had the option, statistically, I'm saying, if you had the option to be driven home by a man or a woman, right, just on the basis of them being men and women, you don't have nothing, same age, a 35-year-old man, 35-year-old woman, who would you rather drive you home? Meaning, who do you trust more to get you home safely? It would be the woman by far. That's my point.
So I'm asking you a question. How is that to do with superiority?
That if you would take the person, if you would trust the woman more, she is superior. It proves it. That's what I'm saying.
How are they superior person?
Oh God. Because men are so dumb that men are so dumb that they drive while texting, drive while inebriated, drive while on other substances with their kids and their family in the car, while going over the speed limit in a car that the brakes is shoddy on and the wheels ain't and the wheels is old. It's a 15-year-old car, and the men are dumb. That's why. That's why. That proves inferiority.
Men are dumb.
Yes, men are dumb. That's dumb.
Men are dumb.
Why are you repeating what I'm saying? Yes, men are dumb.
99% of the world. How have they built 99% of the world and not 99% of the invention?
You're moving all around you're moving all around. 99% of shit was not built by men. Chaos. Hey, 99% of the world wasn't built by men. That's stupid. Again.
No, it was.
It wasn't. 99% of the world wasn't built by men. 90% of the world wasn't built by men. 80% of the world wasn't built by men. I can keep going. The vast majority of the world was not built by men. That's dumb. That is ahistorical, and it's not true.
You are dumb and you are wrong.
Okay. If you think I'm dumb, that's fine. I don't know why you're talking to me. Well, that's a bad response, because I think hold on, wait. I take that back. I think you're dumb and I'm talking to you, but I didn't come up here to talk to you, to be fair. To Nigel said that he playing. Hold on. To Nigel said he playing with his roles. You do sound like you got a contraption over there going off, brother. I don't know what the fuck you on.
Anyways, bro, like I said, bro, the reality is 99% of invention.
Okay, don't say stupid shit like that.
Because we are the superior gender.
We're not.
Objectively, we are.
We're not. Objectively, subjectively, we're not.
Here's the thing, right? We brought them along for special reasons.
We what?
For reproduction purposes.
Say what?
We brought them along for reproductive purposes.
We brought women along. What the fuck are we aliens or something? What the fuck are you talking about? We brought them along.
For reproductive purposes.
What are you saying?
No rights.
Hold on.
They had no rights.
So you're proving okay. So you're proving my point. You're saying that men strip women of rights and we only see women as baby factories.
Yeah.
That proves that men are dumb.
No,
that proves that men are dumb.
That proves we're better. Because how can we treat them like that? How can we treat them like that?
Because men are bullies?
How can we treat them like that?
Because we're evil? Because we're inferior?
They're inferior. Because they're inferior.
Oh, wait, hey, are you, hold on, hey, are you a bully?
I'm part of the gender that does the bullying.
Hey, answer my question or I'm going to drop you. Are you a bully?
No, I'm not a bully.
You're not a bully. Okay. Hold on. I don't want to hear nothing else. Hey, hold on. I don't want to hear nothing else. I'm asking the questions. You can answer them or you can go. So you're not a bully. Okay. Have you experienced being bullied or have you seen people be bullied? I didn't. Okay. Have you seen other people get bullied?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think of bullies?
I look at them and I go, they're stronger and the other one's weaker.
Okay. So why aren't you a bully?
Because I'm benevolent.
So bullies aren't benevolent.
They're not benevolent, but they're stronger.
But that's irrelevant. So you're talking about physically stronger. Hold on, wait. Hold on, hey, hold on. So you think bullies are physically stronger than the people they bully, which isn't true all the time, or even most of the time, I don't think. But
that means the other one is mentally weak.
Okay, so the other one is mentally weak. Okay, so you think bullies are mentally stronger. Why do you think people bully?
To show dominance.
So you're not strong and dominant, because if you were strong and dominant, you would be bullying people, correct?
No. Because
yes.
I can choose not to.
No. Back it up. You're saying that the reason why people bully is because they are strong and dominant. Okay. So by that logic, if you are not strong and dominant, I'm sorry, the reason why you don't bully is because you are not strong and dominant, correct?
No.
Yes. Hold on, let's go back again. Let me hold on. Wait. Let's go back. Let's take it back. I'm gonna start over again, and hopefully you can do it right this time. So bullies, why do they bully?
Oh, is that question?
Yes, there's only one motherfucker up here.
They bully because they want to show dominance.
Okay, they want to show dominance, but are they actually dominant?
They are.
Okay, so they are dominant. So the reason why people bully is because they are actually dominant, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you said you weren't a bully. Is that because you are not actually dominant? Hold on, that's not, sir. Oh. You're not making sense. You're not making sense. You're not making sense. The reason why you aren't bullying is because you're not dominant based on your logic. You're just trying to get out of it by saying, I choose not to bully. Then why don't you choose? Hold on. You're missing the point. I asked you again, why do people bully? What compels a person to bully? You said because they are dominant. So I can infer from that statement that the reason why you don't bully is because you feel like you are not dominant.
Okay, can you let me answer? Can you let me answer?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, you are so dumb. Just let me answer and you will understand.
Okay. Shout out to Shalia. She said, I got how is this for a superior? She said, I got it. How is this for a superior? Bye, bitch. Jesus Christ. Tonight just said, bitch, have you heard of slavery? Nah, he ain't. Tonight just said, you're a dummy, bitch. Damn, bro. It was just like, let's come on, brother. I know you still in here. Let's follow the logic. Why do people bully? Oh, because they're dominant. Okay. So dominant people bully. Yeah. Okay. So why aren't you a bully? Because I didn't choose to be. No. You don't get to say because you didn't choose to be a bully now. The reason why you didn't bully is because you're not dominant. Based on what you said. The reason why you don't bully is because you aren't dominant. That is the reason you gave. And this is how dumb you are. Because if I ask you, why does a person bully? Your answer should have been, and the reason you're not that dumb because you knew if you answered it truthfully, you would walk head first into the point. The reason why people bully is because they are actually inferior. They have insecurities. That is the reason why people are bullies. They are bullying is literally proof that you are inferior, that you yourself think of yourself as being inferior. So you said it and then you tried to pivot, but you need to display dominance, right? That is an outward display of dominance so that you can convince other people that you are dominant. You can't just prove it on your own merits. You can't just prove it by being a good student or by outplaying somebody at a sport or whatever the case may be, or being funny or being charismatic or whatever the case may be. You have to go out of your way to target somebody who you believe you are superior to make them feel inferior, to make yourself feel superior. Cool. If you said that, though, you know that would actually prove that bullies are indeed inferior. It really ain't that deep, but it's that deep. I'm not understanding why is it that deep for y'all, but it ain't that deep. But here we are. Y'all. Y'all, I appreciate y'all liking the live. We got 94,000 likes and 98,000 likes. We almost at 100,000 already. I love it. Exactly, Siren. If you punch up, it's not bullying. That's what I was trying to tell the other idiot earlier. Women can't bully men. It doesn't work that way. There's no dynamic. There's no power dynamic. Women don't have a disproportionate amount of power. What women do have, though, is a disproportionate amount of skill. And one can say that's power, don't get me wrong, but I'm talking about, like economic power or, like as far as our infrastructure is concerned. Women don't have that power, but women have a disproportionate amount of skill. They do. The amount of skill that women have versus the lack of skill that men have. You guys, if you don't know, I promise you should go look it up. Women have so much more skill than men do, generally speaking, about anything that has to do with skill. Women are so much more skilled than men are in anything important. Let me put it like that. Like we pick the categories, like Jeopardy. Let's pick the categories. They're whooping our ass. The only thing we're better at race car drivers. Like that's what the men be crashing out about. So why are we race car drivers? I don't give a fuck. Because women think driving cars fast around in circles is stupid, and I don't fucking blame them. Because they think driving really fast in a circle, like for hours on end, making the same goddamn turn over and over and over again, they think that shit is goofy. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. It is goofy. Open it, walking up to a person with a car and then telling them to pop your hood, let me see your equipment, and not the good kind of equipment, a fucking engine, talking about rev it up for me. Don't nobody give a fuck. Don't nobody give a fuck about that. That shit is goofy. That's dumb. What women like to do, and look, and this is something I noticed recently about women. It's not that women can't play sports. The reason why women, generally speaking, think sports are dumb is because they think the concept of competition in this way is stupid. And it is. It's only so fun. It's only, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's fun, but it's cool to like play it at like PE and shit. But the way men, we built $1 trillion industries off of that shit, that's to women, that's stupid. Like, they don't understand that. They think that shit is dumb. And again, I don't blame them. Again, if you think about it objectively, it is stupid as fuck. It is dumb. It's a waste of fucking time. Ultimately, we could be spending our time doing much more constructive things, like helping people. And that's what women do. While men are like, oh, I gotta go fucking dunk a basketball, women are like, let me look around the community. Who needs some fucking help? I'll go over there and help. I'll go donate my time to help my friend. I'll go donate my time to go help this cause or help that cause. And I won't post about it on the fucking internet. I'm just going to do it because there's a need there and I can feel some of that need. So let me go help. Or maybe it ain't even that altruistic. Maybe they just want to chill on the fucking couch and relax because they're tired of existing for, they've been existing for fucking a week straight or whatever. Fine. That also makes sense. Like, I'm just telling you, I don't know if we could do this, but we need to do, y'all know those glasses, those meta glasses? We got those meta glasses that exist. There needs to be like some glasses that exist that men could put on so we can see the world through the eyes of women. Because I think it would help us as men. I truly do. We need to put on some glasses so we can see the world. Because every time I understand why women do the things that they do, a new piece of me is it gets unlocked. I'm like, oh shit, that's actually really fucking smart that they think like that. Like, damn, I never thought about that. Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus fucking Christ. This is crazy. Look at that. Sports are dumb. Look how freeing that is as a man. I'm telling you. Say it with me, man. Sports are dumb. They are. They're stupid. I got another one for you. Video games are stupid. I mean, they're cool in moderation. But like all day video games, you're dumb. That's dumb. That's stupid. That shit is goofy. Sports are real dumb though. But I like, and what we're saying is nobody is saying that playing fucking pickleball on the weekend is stupid. No. That's fine. But having whole parades, paying motherfuckers $19 gazillion a year and shit, like that shit is dumb. Watching, nigga, it's 82 games in a regular season in basketball for one fucking team. That's 82 games. There are 32 fucking teams in the NBA. Do the math. Do the math on that, fam. That's a lot. And niggas be out here trying to watch every fucking game. It's niggas out here trying to watch every game every night. You can't. Nigga, clock in. You don't got a job. That's why y'all dumb. You watching sports, they reading. Like, what the fuck? If you ever want to know why men are dumb, While you're watching sports, they're reading. You're a dummy, bitch. I don't know how to tell you this. You're stupid. You're dumb. That's goofy. God damn. I don't know how to tell y'all this. Like I be trying to figure out a nicer way to say it. I can't say it in a different way. You're dumb. They're smarter than you. They figured it out. They cracked the code. Y'all are stupid. You should listen to them. They know better. Like I don't know how. I want to be as blunt as I can. If you just listen to them, you can get ahead, nigga. They know what's up. Look, man, look, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I started listening to women about, like, I'll say seriously, like 7 years ago, 6, 7 years ago. I listened to women growing up here and there, but I mean, like, as a group, as a collective, I started listening to women like 6, 7 years ago. Hey, when I tell you, when you want to talk about a level, when you wondering why you stuck, you ain't, like, as a man, you like, I need to level up. Nigga, that's why you stuck. Because you only getting your shit from one spot, my nigga. You got to turn that soil over and go somewhere else. You got to turn the soil over and go somewhere else and go get you some other, you know what I mean? Diversify your shit. You getting it all from one place. It don't work that way. You got to get it from, you know what I'm saying? You're going to hit a ceiling being a man at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a ceiling on being a man. There's a ceiling there. Like, just being a man, like exclusively being a man, there's a ceiling there. I promise you. And it's low. It really is. In comparison to how high you can go, it's low. It's not really that high. But if you could figure out some way to start listening to the, I'm just saying, because they be thriving with all the bullshit going on. They still be whooping our ass. They might be, look, man, do like you used to do in high school and cheat off the girl paper next to you. Do that shit when you grow. Why did you stop doing that? You see what I'm saying? Why did you? So you was doing they wasn't too good for you to cheat off of them in high school, but now you an adult and you don't want to cheat off. They gonna cheat off the paper. Go look over, see what they doing, and don't try to copy them either. I know y'all niggas like to copy the women's and shit. That'd be the other thing that be blowing me. I don't know, y'all be a little weird with that shit. Let me take that back. Y'all like to copy women, but not in a good way. Y'all like to copy y'all like to steal their mannerisms, and you know what y'all do? You know what men been doing a lot forever, but recently a lot? Y'all been stealing they struggle and then saying it's our struggle. That shit been blowing me. The way y'all niggas be co-opting they struggle and trying to act like it's our shit, nigga. I'll be sitting there like, well, wait. What? When did that? Wow. Oh, the person, yeah. June, the personalities is crazy. The way, yeah. So don't steal they shit. I'm saying just look at what they're doing, right? Their productivity, the way they, you know what I'm saying? Try to follow that. The way they be clocking in every day. There you go. The way women clock in every day, do that. That's I'm going to end it on that note. I finally got to it. Copy the way women be clocking in. Yep. If men could figure out a way to clock in like women clock in, now we on to something. Now we could get somewhere. Yeah. Now we on to something. Agent said copy hygiene. She said copy hygiene. Maybe. Them niggas will never though. Tonight just said, men watch sports, women's read books. Hey, that is them niggas though, man. Men's eat steak, women eat salad ass niggas. You niggas is really diabolical. That'd be the funniest part about it. We be laughing and kikiing, but it really be true though. That's really how niggas get down. Read no book. What a man gonna teach me? You right. Don't read nothing from a man. Read a female author. Read a female author, nigga. You fucking dummy. You niggas is dumb. I swear to God, man. Men's is stupid as shit. What up, EBG? Men's is so stupid. It's crazy how stupid men are. It's crazy. Oh man, they blocked. They got me. I got banned. Let me see how long I got banned for. Oh, I got banned. How long did I get banned for is the question. Let me see. Hey, y'all, what's today? Oh, so I got banned for 3 days. Oh, well.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I'll be here for a good time, not a long time. I'll be here for a good time, not a long time, y'all. I'll be here for a good time, not a long time. It wasn't even nobody up there. They said I got banned for bullying the guest. What guest? It wasn't even no guest up there. All I said was men is stupid. That was all I was saying at the end of the day. Maybe that they gonna uphold the ban because I guess that's bad. I said use a dummy, bitch. That was all I told the men. I just said the men is stupid. That's it. Was I lying? Did I mislead the masses? Did I mislead the masses by pointing out the obvious? Jesus Christ. I can't say nothing. Them niggas hate me. All I said was the men's are stupid and they should cheat off the women's papers. That's all I said. I said to look over and do copy their work ethic. That was all I was trying to tell them. That was the only game I was trying to give them. I said, hey, copy the woman's work ethic, work ethic, and we can get somewhere. You see how, hey man, you see how every day the women's get up, they get ready, they take a shower, and they eat breakfast and shit, and they drink water, and they mind their fucking business, and they go to work, and they clock in, and then they be real productive at work, and they listen, and they, take orders, and they, they do the job to the best of their ability, and they grow in the job and all of that shit, and then they clock out, and they go home, and then they don't watch a bunch of dumbass sports, and then they do things to better themselves. When they get home, they might, they might work out, or they might read a book, or they might watch something, or whatever that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's all I was saying. I was saying, let's do that. Damn. Hey, that's all I want. That's all I want for the boys. That's all I want for the guys, man. Come on, boys. I'm the bad guy. That made me the bad guy because I really want to see the men do that. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to get banned for that. That's really wild, man. That's really wild. That's sad. The world is in a sad state when you can't tell niggas to clock in. Like, what the fuck? Y'all feelings that hurt? I can't tell y'all to clock in? Damn. Jesus Christ, man. I done heard it. I done heard and seen it all at this point. I done heard and seen it all. Should I jump on the other live? Bro flakes. They definitely some bro flakes. Ooh, they so sensitive. The whole app sensitive. You can get on this motherfucker. Look, I'm sorry, y'all. I be really thinking I can say what I'm saying because I be in other people's lives and they be talking about do women deserve to breathe and shit. And I'm like, I'm like, damn, you could say that, but I can't tell the men to clock in. I can't tell the boys to clock in. I tell the guys to clock in, I get banned. Them niggas be up there talking about do women deserve to vote? Nigga, what? Yeah. Next question. Yeah, next question. Yeah, absolutely. Do men deserve to vote is the real question. Shit, since we asking, do men, that's what my next problem gonna be. Do men deserve to vote? Yep. Hell yeah. Write that shit down. Do men deserve to vote? Mm-hmm. Because the lack of education. Biku said, bro flakes, part of a complete and balanced breakfast. Fucking bro flakes, man. I got to be careful. I don't know what happened. I sure did get banned, though. I love getting banned. Hey, it ain't Sunday. It ain't Sunday if I don't get banned. I told you I'll be here for a good time, not a long time. Oh man. Oh, we got a weirdo up here. Let's see. Here, let me save you the trouble, W. I'll block you. Talking some stop making accounts. I thought I blocked you. Interesting. You came in here to say it. You weird. But guess what? Blocked. You blocked. You ain't got to worry about it. Always, game nerd mom. Always. They always ruining a good time. What up, Never Seen?
Yeah.
What's happening?
I'm not gonna be up here for long. You know how I do. But one, oh, Bob, we miss you.
Nah, man. Y'all good. Y'all be. I see y'all holding it down. I like y'all lives.
Thanks for that advice, yo. My life was popping that day.
There you go. See?
Don't tell nobody, because remember, you don't help black women. But that's neither here nor there. Let me stop being messy. To your point, I just want to say real fast, I crashed out the other day because Rita held a live. And a nigga that spent 23 years on vacation, quote unquote, said he was smarter than her in other areas. Baby, I gotta go, but that was it. Yes, on a vacation.
A vacation in San Quentin and Rikers? Pelican Bay? He was on a 23-year vacation in Pelican Bay? In Alcatraz?
Up north. I don't know where he was at. But that man said he read books in there, and so he was smarter than Rita. Honey, I just came up here to crash out for Rita. Like, that was it. I just came to crash out for Rita. Because what?
I'm not. So, did he get a degree when he was in there, or?
No, he just read the books. The books that somebody put there, he read them, and they made him smarter than Rita.
But what books?
Do you think we asked?
Oh, I'm just confused. I'm trying to work it out. The shit not making no sense. So you just said,
listen, Pub, I just came up here to crash out for her because you was talking about before you restarted how they need to read. And that man said he was smarter.
More better.
Smarter than Rita because he read books in jail, and then he went to go name the books what the books were about, and they were about Hoteps.
I was about to say that nigga read about the Anunnaki. I swear to God, I was gonna say, I bet you that nigga know everything about the Anunnaki.
He was naming dudes who, I don't know. I think he read the cartouches and it was written in hieroglyphs. I don't know what it was, but he pissed me clean off.
Them niggas know everything about the Anunnaki, but they don't know nothing about the patriarchy.
He was like, yeah, you know, you might know all this stuff, but when I was in there 23 years, I read about Hezekiah Walker. I don't know them people he was naming. I ain't never heard of them.
What? Man, get this. Yeah, don't tell. I'm good. What do these niggas be talking about? 23 years down. And what did he do? He punched some old lady in the back of the head?
It's not a consent. So if y'all know him, it's MEFF. I don't want to say it because it sounds like the smug. But he also has another profile on here that goes by A1. He did 23 years in there in a joint, and he claims that he was protecting somebody, but he also said he caught bodies. So I don't know. The stories is not lining up. We caught the body.
Well, you know,
it was, man. It was. I promise you, it was.
Bro, it said, and I got restricted. All right.
I'm gonna drop, but
I
just came out here to catch y'all for Rita. Y'all, again, like I said, we miss you on the scene, Pubs, but it's great to see you every time you do pop out.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks. Oh, she said it's the prompt. Is it the prompt? I don't got another prompt though. I don't want to change it. All right, let me change the prompt. God damn it. It's the prompt. Oh, I can't do it to that. I can't do it with that one. There, I know what to do. I know what to do. You got to trick the algorithm. You got to trick the algorithm. All right. I think I worked it out now. Yeah, I think I worked it out. There we go. All right. I just changed it to R men inferior. Like I asked on YouTube. So we good. Yeah, we just had to add the little question mark. That's it. That's all. We back in this thing though. Nah, it ain't that shit. Why that shit get so big like that? No Diddy. Or so Diddy. You choose. What the hell we got going on in him? It wasn't that big before. All right, whatever. That's good enough. That's good enough. We in there. I'm bullying them. I don't know. Yeah. Do men deserve water? Hey man, y'all be saying anything in the comments, and I can't say that shit on the. I be wishing I could just say that shit on the live. Y'all be saying anything in the comments. That shit funny as fuck. Why is self-reflection hard for a man? Because we're not taught to reflect. We're not taught to self. The whole name of the game is keep men blind, so we don't. You know, as soon as you teach a man, you know, to look within, then the jig is up. You know what I'm saying? So that's the name of the game. What up, Jazz? Nah, I can't say that. This is cool. This is cool. This is good enough. Why do men struggle with reality? I want to go to the ghetto. Nah, I'm good. After I get off here, we going to the movies. We got to go see that Lilo and Stitch, baby. We got turned away last night. We got there like 15 minutes before the movie started. It was a line around the corner to get in there. It was terrible. Restart it? All right, I'll restart it one time. They told me to restart it, y'all. I'll restart it one time. Matter of fact, let me go check my old page out or my main page. Let's see. I bet you I'm still denied in this piece. Yeah, I'm still denied. Looks like we ain't got that long. I might have to wrap it up anyway. I ain't got that long. I ain't got that much more time anyway. Low key woski. PC. What you want to do, Steve? Nobody will leave in the box. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Yep. It was glitching. Oh, man. Oh, you think that's what it is, Teresa? Well, shit, man. We can take him down. I ain't mad. I'll take it down. I don't care. Yeah. We took it down. Now they can't say nothing. Look at that. There we go. Yep. Back at it like a crack addict. I don't know what it was, Jazz. Teresa just said they probably you know, I don't know. I ain't been up on the latest TikTok violation type shit. Oh, don't say the word? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't even care. I'm, you know, like I said, we just here doing it. We just here having a good time. Tapping and yapping. They do. Well, it seemed like it might. Hey, we did it, man. We did an hour and 44 minutes. It looked like we ran through. They killed me on the other live, on the other page. We on the backup. It ain't cracking. We on the backup. It ain't cracking though. It's all good though. I'm gonna go on and wrap it up then. Fuck it. That's easier said than done because TikTok only lets you use PayPal. Why would TikTok be against using PayPal when TikTok uses PayPal? That don't even make sense. Mm-hmm. Be back Wednesday. How dare you threaten me? Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to Kiko. I don't understand. Like, what the fuck? They said do as I say, not as I. They on some parent shit. The parent trap. You gotta love it.
Hello, Captain. How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's good with you, man?
I'm alive, my guy. I'm alive. Sorry, I was in a YouTube live actually, and then they said I should call you guys. So,
Oh, come in here.
TikTok. Yeah. I should go to TikTok instead.
Yep.
But yeah, sorry, I popped in at a particular time, so maybe I misinterpreted what you're saying. When I popped in, I heard you saying that men are stupid.
They are.
And that men's sports are stupid, and I disagreed in the chat, and I got timed out. But maybe I'm misunderstanding your point. Maybe you got a bigger point I'm not understanding.
Yeah.
So I don't want to jump in too soon. I'd rather just be able to understand what you're coming from, so I can get that point first before I agree or disagree. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I was saying that. I mean, I was part of a rant I was doing. I was just joking. I was serious, but I was, it was a little tongue in cheeky, but no, I mean, sports are stupid ultimately. The way in which how serious men take them, they are dumb. Like that's dumb. Like sports are dumb, right? I guess like football isn't dumb. Actually football is dumb, but American football, I don't know about soccer so much, but like soccer isn't dumb. Baseball isn't necessarily dumb. It's fun to play, but the way in which men obsess over the sports, pretty dumb. Pretty dumb.
What qualifies it to be dumb? I'm a little confused by that. What qualifies it to be dumb from your perspective?
Because there are better things to do. Like there are things that are way more important and way more pressing that we need to do as men. Like the way that I look at it is like, I remember growing up, like in the summertime, especially, my mom wouldn't let me go outside until I cleaned up. You know what I'm saying? Like that was, it was like, or I couldn't go out until I did my homework. You know what I'm saying? Like the most important things came first. So like after you do all of your work, after you are a productive citizen, then you get some leisure time, right? But men, it's the opposite. It's like we build our lives around our leisure, or we try to at least, and it ends up hurting us in the end because there are way more important things and way bigger things that we need to be doing, but we're not focused on them, unfortunately. Like bettering ourselves.
I find that intriguing because even from a biblical standpoint, right?
Shit.
When we talk about Paul says a very funny thing. He says, I discipline myself and as if I'm running a race. And I find that scripture interesting because you've stated that particularly that sports, particularly maybe that football could be dumb. And I would say that first and foremost, right, it's an entertainment, but it's also a job, right? Now, even the qualification that you gave in terms of it being stupid, I still don't understand where it's coming from because, again, if you're saying it's wasting time, according to who? Because if somebody's playing sports and they're making a living from it, they're able to pay bills for their family, able to take care of their family, how would that be stupid?
Because the vast majority of men don't make money off of sports. So you don't have to live in the what if world. Like we don't have to live in the extreme. What percentage of men actually make a living off of sports?
No, that's probably not 1%. If it's
Not even 1%. Not even 1%.
Even so, I play sports myself, and I love it because there's a communal aspect that comes with it.
Okay,
so
but
hold on,
but Black, hold on.
Okay, sorry.
Hold on. So let's stick to one point. The point you just tried to make was, if you're making money off of it, then it's not stupid, which obviously I wouldn't say it was dumb if you're making money off of it. But most men don't make money off of sports. So wouldn't that point be moot?
No, because it's more than 1 point. I only skipped the first point.
Well, I'm saying that no. That point would be moot, though. See what I'm saying? Because obviously,
sorry, I missed you. Sorry, apologies. Go again.
Yeah. So I'm saying that point would be moot because I'm talking about men in general, right? And most men, the vast majority of men, don't make a single red cent off of playing sports or watching sports. More importantly, right? It ain't just about playing sports, by the way. I mean, I'm talking about the whole industry. I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about playing the sport and watching the sport, right? Together.
Yeah.
So.
I think. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, there's multiple levels to when it comes to things in life, right? Because objectively, there's nothing wrong with watching sports, and nothing bad happens to you when you watch sports. Now, if you're talking about balance, and we're talking about two different things. If we're saying that somebody watches sports and doesn't do anything productive with their life, and all they do is just watch sports, then it's not sports that's dumb. It's a person who's actually consuming the product that's dumb. So we have to make that clear distinction, right? Because if we say that men are dumb. In fact, let me not shift the goalpost. Let me just leave it there so we can stick on that. I don't want to shift your goalpost from that.
Yeah, you're good.
But in all essence, what I'm saying to you is that the qualification of someone watching or playing sports, even if they don't earn money being dumb, actually doesn't make sense because we do a lot of things in life that don't make money and doesn't actually do anything for us, right?
Like what?
Again, I don't want to mention anything. Okay, for instance.
Well, I'm not, and I won't even say not making money because hold on, wait.
We're going for a walk.
I know, but wait, hold on. I'm not. You talked about money. I didn't, but I'm not. The things that I'm talking about aren't things that are directly related or connected to making money necessarily, but just things that make you that will lead to you being more productive, right? Sports are a distraction from those things. They don't usually help those things, whether you're playing them or watching them. It's typically a distraction. I know somebody right now that they watch a lot of sports, but they also play sports a lot. They're fully grown man, 40s, still playing basketball like several times a week, playing in adult leagues and stuff like that. And I'm like, you could be using that time to be with your family. You could be using that time to better yourself, mentally. You could be using that time to learning a skill or a trade or something so that you could make more money or whatever. And they're not. That's the thing that they're choosing to spend their time on. To me, that's dumb. And it's basketball. Like basketball, sports, I'm telling you, there's no way around. Like sports really are dumb. Like they really are pointless at the end of the day. Like we don't need sports, right? They're cool sometimes. They're cool to play sometimes. They are. Sometimes they are. But they're dumb though. It's like we don't need board games. Board games are fun sometimes, right? We don't need those little games on our app. Or we don't need those little games on our phone. Candy Crush is fun sometimes. Don't get me wrong, but it's ultimately is dumb though. This is a pointless game. It's just something to keep to distract you. It's not actually helping you the vast majority of the time in any significant way, right? So, yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lot of things in life, right, that necessarily don't contribute towards your growth. For instance, music doesn't necessarily contribute towards your growth. Now,
yes, it does. No, but music does, though.
Hold on. There is some music that can, and there is some music that does not contribute towards your growth. There is some music that does not contribute towards your growth. Just like sports, if you are somebody who also plays sports and you understand the strategicness of a game, it can actually be implemented and transferred over as a skill when you are dealing with other people and in group settings. So again, there was aspects of certain things that can be taken and applied in different areas. The reason why people play sports is the competitive nature of sports and the aspect of, again, the communal aspect of experiencing something, playing with somebody, us learning how to even get along, number one, number two, even learning how to be around other people. It's a communal thing. So There are benefits.
So my question to that, if that's the case, right? And we know men and women, we know women are way more invested in sports and play sports less than boys and men do, right? Then why are women so much better at building communities than men are?
Because the way that God graced them to be.
No. Hold on. Listen.
Okay.
I want you what I want you to do right now is don't give me vague platitudes, and I need like real tangible things because I don't believe in God. So as soon as you say God did this, like I'm already.
If you don't believe in God, you can't force your Venn diagram onto me.
Oh, I'm not. Hold on. Wait. No. Hold on.
Me from using my Venn diagram,
sir. You're projecting. You're trying to force it onto me. I don't believe in.
Use it.
Sir, in this conversation, I would prefer you not use it because you first have to convince me to believe in it, and I don't believe in it. See what I'm saying?
You don't have to believe in it.
You do.
What you have to do is accept that I have a different Venn diagram to you.
No.
That's all we're saying.
No, but God is vague. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
No, God is vague to you. It's not to me. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, God is literally vague.
No, God is vague to you. It's not vague to me. You know what I'm saying to you? So
it's vague to everybody.
It's not vague to everybody. It's
It
vague to
is.
people.
Sir, I'm not about to argue about this. God is vague. It doesn't mean in this context, God has no bearing on anything we're talking about. And I'll ask you the question again. Why are women better at building communities? If playing sports is the thing that leads to building better communities and being more communal and whatnot, then why are women better at building communities than men?
Okay, so can you actually define what you mean by making it better? They make better communities.
They build better communities. They help in the building of the communities more. They're more productive. They cause less harm. They're less destructive. They bridge the gap, meaning they communicate better with everybody in the community. They are more selfless. They dedicate themselves more. Everything.
I agree.
They work. Jazz said it. They work together better. Like, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. So if sports are the thing that's supposed to help us do that, then why are we so trash at it?
Oh, I didn't put sports into that bracket.
You did.
No, I didn't.
That's literally what you said.
I didn't say build communities though.
You did.
I'm saying no, I didn't.
You did. Hold on. You said sports make you more. What do you think that means?
Makes you more communal.
Hmm?
Right?
What do you wait? Hold on. What do you hold on? What do you think that means?
Okay, so I'm making a clear distinction between the two. Building a community versus you being more communal are two different things.
They're not.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, that is like the definition of the word.
Being more communal, it's not about building. For me, building is about the structure of you being able to build a community. For instance, okay, let me give you an example. For instance, right? Okay, for sports, right? You can build a community. I can build a club. I can build a sports club, whatever, and I can invite people in. The people that are coming in can become more communal within that space. They're not building the actual community. They are part of a community that can become more communal. And I'm saying that specifically, I thought you said about building a community versus you actually being more communal. The two for me are different. That's why I'm making a distinction.
So you thought that I was talking about the physical structures in the community?
No, they don't necessarily the physical structures. When I say someone building a community, right? When I say building a community, it's the process of building something. That's what my thing is. Versus someone being more communal.
That is the same thing, sir.
Okay, well, I didn't see it that way.
I know, but oh my God. That is the same thing. And that's why I gave that. That's why I brought that up, because you said it, not me. I didn't take it anywhere you didn't. You said it. You may have misspoke, but that is what you said. And that was the inference. So men, yeah, but so men are actually indeed not better at building communities than women are. Right?
Yeah, I agree to that.
I know, but so my
it depends on what kind of community you're talking about.
A healthy, thriving community. Women are better at building those communities. Yes.
I believe there's some aspects of truth to that. I'm not going to say all the way through, but I believe some aspects of that. And again, that comes from my Christian background. I would agree with that particular perspective.
And how are men better at building? What aspect of a community are men better at building?
I think for us as men, we're definitely good at building structure. So for us, we love hierarchy. We love that as men. Particularly, we love that as men. And I think we love to be able to have governance, right? And we love to have accountability. Are we always accountable? No, because men are inherently sinful people. We all commit sin, so that doesn't always work out. But for me personally, men love governance, men love structure, men love hierarchy. That's what we end up loving. So we end up building those things amongst other men. So if you watch men how they operate with other men, this is how we actually.
So when you build a hierarchy, who is at the bottom? What would you consider the people at the bottom of the hierarchy to the people to the people at the top in comparison to the people at the top?
Well, I mean, obviously, we've only got one. We've only got the necessary community we've got right now, right? Or sorry, say structure we've got right, which is a patriarchal system, right? Which usually
disproportionately.
Disproportionately, yeah, it's usually based on the strongest will survive, or the smartest will survive. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when you build a hierarchy, right?
Yeah.
There are people at the top that get more resources than people at the bottom, correct?
I agree.
Absolutely, okay. So when we're talking about a community, how is that better for a community in any aspect, in any sense? How does the people at the top who don't need the most resources, by the way, it's the people who typically the people at the top are the people who need the least amount of resources, but they have the access. They end up having access to the majority of the resources. And I agree with you that men are obsessed with hierarchies. We are.
Yes.
Because we are obsessed with subjugation. We are obsessed with control and dominance, right? And exploitation. And hierarchies inherently lead to all of those things. So how are those good for community building?
It's only good when you've got a sense of how to say this. So I'm gonna have to use a Christian Venn diagram again, I guess, in essence. But okay, so for the perspective, right? The reason why it fails is first and foremost because inherently men are sinful people. And that's just not men. I mean men as in men and women, right? Because we're inherently sinful, the behavior will always be disenfranchising. Right. So if we were not sinful people, the system would work beautifully. I think
men are sinful. I don't think women are. I think the Bible was written for men. I think almost all religious texts are built for or were written for men to teach men how to be human, but women already know how to be human. And that's why they are inherently better at building communities than men do.
I think they're inherently better. Building community, because part of a community also involves the emotional aspect, which I think women are far more wired in a better place to do so. I think men tend to build structures, but don't necessarily build the best communities. I always believe that they're good at building structures.
Okay, so we agree that women. So now we're back to women are better at building communities. Sports.
Yeah, I didn't disagree with that.
And you did because you changed it. You said actually I disagree because in certain aspects men are better, and I asked you how are they better, and then you said that they are. Hold on. And you said that they are better because they are that they built the structure, and you were talking about the hierarchy, and I did. I didn't say men are better. I actually didn't. I said there are parts that we do. All right, Black. I'm not about to. You keep. You literally said this is the second time you did that, and I can't. It's too annoying now. We got to move on. Because you literally said, "Oh, I forgot. I thought I blocked you." Let me help you out.
Nigga's gonna run away.
Let me help you out. He came up here to get blocked, y'all. Yeah, you. That's the second time you did that. You say a thing, I clock it, and then you say that's not what I said, and then I have to reiterate to you what you said, and then that's a big waste of time. You got to either say what you mean or stop moving the goalposts, because at this point, that's what's going on. What up, BBG?
Hey, we finally made it out. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been listening for a little bit, and men's inferiority is something that I hold a lot of stake in. I think it's proven itself time and time again. If men and women were equal, we wouldn't have a lot of the issues that we have in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that actually the last guy proved it, because he talked a lot about hierarchical structures and how men attach themselves to those, and they create structures where the accountability that they have either comes from other men who are at the top of the hierarchy, or it comes from it comes from religious practice. So while they're holding the women accountable physically, emotionally, while they get to beat and berate the women and the children within the family, they have to answer to God. And their answer to God is usually, well, once I get to the end of my life, then you can bet your money that, I'll probably go to hell. And like, it's not that I don't believe that they are. I for sure believe that they are. It's just that they segment whatever punishment they will get, they segment to the end of their life, while women have to consistently and continuously actively deal with that punishment.
Mhm.
And I think that that's intentionally set up that way, because if you leave men to hold other men accountable, they never will, because they won't. It's the same thing as, when they started creating these like forces within the police that will hold police accountable.
Mhm.
But it was people who were police officers, and it was like, okay, how are you holding your own accountable?
The police and the police don't make no sense.
It doesn't make sense, because you're never going to look at what your common practices are as something that's wrong, and that's a lot of what men do. And then they implore these ideas of eugenics, like the survival of the fittest that he mentioned earlier, so that they can further reiterate the harm that they inflict on the community. Like that's part of the reason why they not only believe that they should be at the top of the hierarchy, but it's their excuse for why it is they also are, which is what he said earlier. They are inherently sinful. Like they make religious practices, social structures centered around the things that they either won't do, can't do, or don't understand, or just don't have a desire to do. And they try to explain it away with things that really just don't even make sense, because you don't have to be inherently sinful. Like, you can be the kind of person that does the right thing the first time, but instead of doing the right thing the first time, they go, well, we all fall short. No, we don't have to. Women ain't falling short.
Yeah.
Women are not.
Women ain't sinful, man. Women ain't sinful.
What I mean?
Like,
it's not. It's genuinely not the same. And I've gotten to the point now where I don't even add the caveat anymore that I'm not talking about all men. I don't add the caveat.
No, you don't have to.
That it's some women, because we know the society that we operate and move in. And I'll say the best example of that, truthfully, is the situation with the little girl, Miss Shirley. Every single time I see a video about somebody talking about the Miss Shirley girl, they always talk about how, oh my gosh, she around all these men. Oh my gosh, she in front of all these men. Oh my God, every time we see her, she dancing in front of these men. And every time I hear people say that, I always say to myself, but wait a minute. I thought it wasn't all the men. I thought it was really only a very, very small amount of men that were a danger to women and children. And if it were a very, very small amount, then you know who those men are. You can literally protect children quite easily if you know that it's 0.001% of men, because they're going to stick out in the crowd, right?
Yep.
Except no, they actually don't. And you know that they don't. And you know that if the roles are reversed, you've never seen a conversation where somebody talks about a little boy online dancing and they said, but what about the women? Nobody's ever said that.
Never.
Nobody's ever said, can you watch? Oh my God, look at these boys outside playing basketball with no shirt on. Have you thought about the women?
Yep.
Nobody says that, because they know that the danger is not the same. And I think that using these ideas around, especially religion, as a means to hold men accountable, or other men holding men accountable, is the cop-out for them knowing that they are not going to be decent human beings to people in the larger community, and they're just going to continue to wreak havoc on the people around them.
I want to address something. Black Muscle said something in the comments. You can talk about this. He said both women and men are problematic. If they have power, they will be corrupt. And my response to that would be, that is why women typically don't seek power, right? Women aren't power hungry. So let's assume that what you're saying is true. I'll buy into that. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay, I'm with that. But for the same, like, so when you said that men build structures and our structures are hierarchical or hierarchies are almost never good. You know what I'm saying? And generally speaking, they're not really good. They're not really beneficial to the majority of people, right? There's a time and a place for a hierarchy, I guess. You know, maybe in school or I don't know. Some institution hierarchies make sense, right? But military, whatever. But in practice, in general, hierarchies are terrible. Men seek power because men seek control. Women seek community. Women seek the sharing of power. Women don't want to be in charge. They end up being in charge because nobody else wants to be in charge, right? Women end up doing the job and the work of everybody else because nobody else wants to do the work and the job that they need to do. So they ultimately end up being in charge. But women don't, as a group, they aren't power hungry. They're not trying to gain power or anything like that. They want autonomy. And I think men, and I know men, intentionally conflate autonomy with women being power hungry when all they're asking for is power and dominion over themselves and not everybody else. Whereas men want power and dominion over everybody else, but take no accountability for themselves. So I want to better understand, why do you need to buy in? Why are you pushing this narrative that like power corrupts as a way to absolve men of being corrupt? Do you not see it that way, Black Muscle? Because that's how I see it.
Oh, can I answer? I don't know if I can answer. I don't want to be rude on your platform, so I want to jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the only way I can really answer this again is to bring my worldview, which is that both men and women are inherently sinful, and both men and women inherently will be corrupted by power, because from a biblical standpoint, both men and women have fallen, and so therefore, from my perspective, it doesn't matter who gets into power, whether women build communities or not. If they were to have the power that we had, they would also do the exact same thing from a biblical standpoint. So for me personally, that's all the point I was actually. Can I
ask you a question? Can I ask you a question, Black Muscle?
Yes, sir.
Do you think, like, are you kind of familiar with, and like history, like world history?
I wouldn't say I'm like the sharpest on it.
Okay, I was just asking before I asked the question. I was curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so would it surprise you to know that at one point in time, the world was not actually ran by men?
Hey, I don't know my history like that, but okay, I'm listening.
Yeah. Did you know that the world at one point in time was not actually ran by men?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. And during that time, can you guess what society looked like? Do you think that society looked like how it looks now, or do you think it looks, how do you think society looked during those times?
I mean, listen, hey, I'm assuming there were still things that were probably happening, because sin is sin. It doesn't.
Oh no, wait. Remove sin. Remove the word sin, because again, it's vague. Okay. Right? It doesn't, in this context.
Transgressing God's law, which means transgressing law. Let's say, for instance, the 10 Commandments. That would be what? Let's keep it simple like that. 10 Commandments.
Yeah, but
transgressing the 10 Commandments. Yeah.
In the 10 Commandments, it doesn't tell you don't build a hierarchy and exploit people on the bottom of it.
Yeah,
so
hierarchy in itself is not actually a problem. The problem is the people with it.
Well, it is, but hierarchies are inherently problems, though. That's what I'm saying. When you build a structure, when you're talking about people, when you build a structure and there are people at the bottom of said structure, that in and of itself is problematic. It's always going to be problematic. It's never not going to be problematic. It's always going to be problematic. That's what I'm saying. So, and the Bible is all about a hierarchy. God, man, woman, child, ducks, geese, frogs, lizards, fucking Komodo dragons, whatever the fuck else they believe in, right? So that hierarchical structure, and you see how it plays out over and over and over again, where men abuse every fucking thing beneath them, because that is how hierarchies function. There is a reason why men are obsessed with hierarchies. The ducks get fucked. The geese get fucked, literally and figuratively. The fucking iguanas get fucked. And all the animals get fucked. They get eaten. They get driven out of their homes. Their habitats get destroyed. They get raped. They get, made into to skirts and purses and bags and like that is what men do because we can, because there is a hierarchy where we have dominion over everything and everybody beneath us, and therefore it is justified whatever we do to everybody beneath us because we make the rules because we're at the top of the hierarchy. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I don't know how you can't say hierarchies aren't bad when you can't actually point to any hierarchy that hasn't resulted in the exploitation of the people on the bottom of it.
Like I said, hierarchies in itself are not an issue. That's like a gun is not an
Hold on.
issue.
We're not. Hold on. You can't just repeat the thing you said because I just refuted it.
Well, let me pass it.
Yeah.
I don't mind moving
Yes. I want, what I would like for you to do is to address what I just said instead of having these like predetermined responses. Like
predetermined, but I don't agree with you. And we're gonna
but I know, but the reason you don't agree with me is because you're not listening. It's not because you have a different worldview. No, sir. Me and hold on, wait. Me and BPG have a different worldview. We do. If you're talking about religion, I'm not religious. She is. I'm not. She is. Right? You would never know that if I didn't tell you, because she never needs to bring up the Bible when we have these discussions. She never needs to bring in her religion or anything like that. And I would let BBG tell you why she doesn't have to do that. Because there's a reason, there are many reasons why, but there's a very good reason why she doesn't ever need to do that in these scenarios. I don't know.
And that's up to her.
No, it's not up. It's not up to her though.
Hold on. It's my prerogative. If my worldview is a Christian worldview, and that's my worldview. If she has the same worldview but wants to choose to use a different viewpoint of having this debate, that's on her.
Okay. So black. Hey, black. If you and I were working on a job, right?
Yes.
And you needed to teach me something about the job that we were working. How would you explain it to me without using religion?
Well, I always do it. I still use religion. My faith weaves into everything.
No. You wouldn't use.
You asked me. You just asked me.
You wouldn't use religion, though. It wouldn't make any sense.
I do, because I have a whole YouTube that does that. I talk about relationships from a Christian point of view.
I didn't ask about relationships, brother.
I'm not saying that, but you're telling me that I wouldn't do that. And I'm saying to you, I would, because that's what my worldview is. So I will still bring you into that world. You know what I'm saying to you? Again, I don't want to be, because I know you said someone said I shouldn't be having religious talks. I don't want to disrespect your platform, by the way. So please, if I'm disrespecting,
the only reason I think you're disrespecting it is because you aren't answering my questions in a genuine way, because you know that doesn't make any sense. If we're on a job and you're training me, hold on, brother. If you're on a job and you're training me to do the job, and you bring up religion at any point in time in there, you're fired. Like that doesn't. You're talking about specific. Bro, I said again.
My bad then.
Okay.
I misheard you. Sorry.
Yes. So if you are training me, you're my trainer on a job site. Yes. You need to explain to me why I'm doing this task and how to do the task or whatever the case may be, right? Or you're explaining to me, and I'll make it more abstract than that, because this is a more abstract conversation in some ways. You wanted to explain to me how the job works. How it, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like the culture of the job and whatnot, right?
Yes.
You would be able to explain those things to me without bringing religion into it, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yes. So what I'm asking you to do is treat this scenario the exact same way, because it is very similar to that. If you cannot have this discussion without telling me because God said, then we can't have the discussion. That's what I'm saying. And you cannot excuse that or dismiss that by saying, I just have a different worldview. Because if we were on a job, I would say, fuck your worldview. I'm asking you, how do you do X, Y, and Z? What are you talking about? Explain that to me.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's what I need you to do.
But it's not a job, though. We're talking about men.
It is.
It's about a man and woman. And if we're talking about it from its original standpoint, I have to go to the person who I believe who created man and woman as the original intentions. So when we are talking about this aspect, I have to bring the Christian worldview because that's the person who created man and woman. So when you're talking about certain things, I'm going back to the original point, which is my point was at the very beginning, was saying that if women were to get into power, they would abuse it because inherently what God has told us about man and woman, which is that we are corruptible, both men and women.
Can I make a point real quick?
Go ahead.
I think what Black is missing here is that even if you have a different worldview, let's say I believe in another religion, then me and you can no longer have a conversation. We're never going to get any.
That's what I'm saying.
You remove religion and make it a equal playing ground for conversation. Because if I believe in hocus pocus and you believe in Jesus, we're never going to be able to talk to each other at all. The second part is the men and women are corrupt thing. Without religion, it's just projection. The assumption that women will do the exact same thing that men have been doing forever is just projection. Because if women have not held positions of power over men, there's no examples to say that women would be corrupt. The only thing you have to go off is, well, man is flawed, so women are going to do the same thing. That's projection. There's no proof.
There's actually proof to the opposite of that. When women are in control and when women are in power, things are more equitable. Things and you have to, and this is what I'm saying about that. So women still have to function within the patriarchal structure, within the capitalistic structure, within the racist structures, right? In this country and globally, right? But when women get power, mute everybody up. Y'all got a lot of background noise. When women get power, the people who they lead fare better than when men are in that same position. You see what I'm saying? So even within the confines of the systems, of the institutions that exist and all the parameters, that are set forth by those systems, women still fare better when they are in leadership. So that would be my proof. There's actual proof to point to, well, imagine if they didn't have to exist within the confines of these structures and institutions, how much better their leadership would look and how much better their leadership would be. You see what I'm saying? If their leadership is this good within these systems, then imagine how much better it would be if we removed the shackles of said systems and hierarchies. That's my point. So I can say unequivocally that women wouldn't do what Black is saying women would do. I can say that. I'll stand 10 toes on that and say, no, women wouldn't do that. They wouldn't be corrupt. They wouldn't take advantage of everybody on the body. You know what I'm saying? Like I can 100%, like I'm going to say that without a doubt. I'm going to stand. I am 100% sure that women as a group would never, ever, ever do the things that men are doing. Ever as a group. Never. It would never happen. Other women wouldn't allow that woman to do it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Other women wouldn't do it. Like if one woman, like here's what I'm saying. If 3 women tried to come together and hoard all the resources, out of the 97 women would unalive them. They would be like, I'm not letting these, but they would turn to Harriet Tubman. They would be like Harriet Tubman and fucking get them 3 up. Like, just get them up out of here. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, but men are like, oh yeah, boss, because I love bosses. As long as I get to be, so you gonna let me get a little piece of the pie, as long as I get my little cut, then I'll keep all the shit together for you, boss. That's how men act. Go ahead, Jazz.
Hey, well, so I agree with Moon, and I wanted to kind of piggyback off what he said, because I did not agree at all with the guy all the way at the bottom is assuming, just like he said, projecting that women would behave in the same way that men would if we held the same level of power. Not only is there no proof that would ever happen, but it seems like men are centered in this habit of projecting in every aspect of relationships with other people. There is no, just you spoke to that too. When women have power, it's typically used for good. It's typically used to create some kind of change that needs to be made, and it ends up resulting in some kind of power. When men are in control, everybody, it's like this weird, we call that domino effect. It's a trickle down all the time. There always has to be the head honcho or a group of the head honchos just like the system that we have right now, and everybody underneath is suffering, and it's usually women and children. Now, there have been matriarchal societies historically in like Ghana, China, Indonesia that were very successful. Crime was low, violence was low, of course, child essay was low. Hell, I don't even think child brides were a thing in matriarchal societies. These are the major differences that were upheld in the matriarchal society versus the patriarchal society. And it does kind of prove that men are inherently not good. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It's sad. It's not something that we want to believe. It's not something that we want to be a reality.
It's not fun. It's not fun to admit it, but you got to admit it, though. We got to call it out.
It is not fun at all to admit that I would be entirely uncomfortable if I saw a male staff at my children's daycare.
Oh, yeah, me too.
There would be a fuck no.
Yeah.
My kids would not be going there.
I don't like it.
There's a reason for that. Most men can admit that they would be uncomfortable with it as well. It doesn't even matter how old the kids are. You damn sure wouldn't be comfortable with him handling your infant, but you definitely wouldn't be any more comfortable if the child was older. I mean, that is the reality based on what we've seen historically happen to women and children amongst men. And it doesn't even really matter the age of the man at this point. I mean, usually the nonsense starts when they're about 16 and older. But we have to be realistic about these things. And also touching on the whole religion being the reason for things and comparing it to somebody using actual educated opinions or research to combat opinions based in religion, that has to stop. It really has to stop. Christianity, I genuinely feel, has been the biggest downfall for Black people, especially when it comes to these kinds of topics, because so much essay and control and destruction is ignored, and God is used as a means for men to repent, just like UPG was getting at. It's like they go through life doing all these shitty things, and they're just thinking, oh, well, I'll just repent, once I get a little over this, and I'll be saved, and I get to be my God in heaven.
It's a crutch.
It's like while everybody else suffers on earth because of their actions and their choices. And I mean, people are brainwashed to believe that they can just wash away the shitty things that they do to others. And I just can't respect that. I think we're more realistic about things, and we held each other accountable more,
Also, they just use it as a way to be like a justification for whatever's going on. Like, and that's what Black is doing. He's like, oh, men are just shitty. People are just shitty. Like, that's not an excuse to be shitty, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do realize that we can be better, that we don't have to be sinful. You don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, you can choose to repent. I thought this whole, even if you believe in religion, I thought this whole experiment was the experiment of free will, because once upon a time we didn't have free will until Michael fucking Lucifer, whatever the hell that nigga name is, was like, you know what? I don't really like the way this nigga treating us up here. And he conspired to overthrow the kingdom, right? And overthrow the king last time I checked. So I thought the whole point of it was, now you get to do what you want to do. Let's see how you do. Let's see what you do with it. And just writing that and chalking that up to just like, men are just sinners. Fuck out of here. No. I'm not buying that. I'm good. Y'all can have that belief all fucking day long if that's what you gonna believe. I'm not excusing fucking slavery because white men are sinners too. Like, what? I'm not excusing a colonialism or raping or the destruction of sacred holy grounds from other groups of people that were, living here and living on these sovereign lands. I'm not excusing that shit with men are sinners. Like, are you fucking crazy? You think that's that's what we do? Like, I'm not. This is 2025, bro. Whatever you do, I'm holding you accountable for that shit. I'm not waiting to the afterlife. I'm not taking no chances on let's see if God punished the wicked. Fuck that, nigga. Hell no, because the same motherfuckers that tell you that one day you gonna make it to the kingdom, one day you gonna get your comeuppance, you know what I'm saying? One day, them niggas living the dream right now. Why I gotta wait? Why I gotta wait? So I'm gonna flip that around. Why we gotta wait to punish? I'm not waiting to punish you, nigga. Only God can judge me. Fuck out of here. I'm the judge, nigga. I'm judging. I'm judging the fuck. I'm Judge Judy. I'm Judge Joe Brown. I'm fucking night court judge, nigga. I'm judging. I don't care what you talking about. I'm judging. I'm not waiting for nothing. Life is too fucking short. We on black men only live 65 fucking years. Like, I'm judging the shit out of y'all until the day I die. The side eyes will be bombastic from here on out. I don't know what type of game, what type of shit y'all be on. That's crazy though. Like, I'm tired. That's a cop out. That's crazy work to be like, whoa, God gonna judge me one day. Nah, nigga. Nah, man. This nigga Elon Musk running around here still breathing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be talking about George Zimmerman. I don't even think about that nigga. He ain't even the first motherfucker that come to mind. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about war criminals. I'm thinking about George Bush Sr. I'm thinking about Donald Rumsfeld. Y'all talking about fucking Zimmerman. Fucking Zimmerman. It's motherfuckers running around out here. It's people alive and well that set up banana republics in other countries so they can steal the resources in fucking Panama and Guatemala and shit and fucking up the Congo. And y'all up here talking like, nah, nigga, that's we. These niggas is alive and well. They healthy.
This nigga just said God placed governments on the earth.
Man, get out of here, bro. That's that goofy shit, my nigga. That's goofy.
The sad part about it, like, when you try to use religion as a cop out for why you believe the way you believe, but you also don't even take the time to invest in that, it makes you look strange. Like, that's all that actually happens. The part that I'm always most, and it is the reason why I don't feel the need to use religion as a marker for why it is I do the things that I do, because I also read. Like, I'm never gonna argue with you about something that's true on the basis of, well, you know, God said that. Where was this studied? Where was this researched? Who looked at what, where, when, and how to figure out where these things took place? Is it historical context? And I think a lot of men, even with using religion as an excuse, don't even study the religion that they are. They don't, because there isn't going to be scripture that supports you being in other people's business, or that God has somehow placed you in a hierarchical structure in order for you to be running the government. Because they always skip over things like rendering to Caesar was his. That man said, mind your business. Like, you, and that's the thing. You know that you're using it to reiterate ideas that are already harmful, and you do them in order to further progress hierarchical structures that you won't ever actually have access to, because you know that in the hierarchical structure, the same people that's telling you survival of the fittest and that men are at the top of the structure are also telling you that whiteness is at the top of the structure, that wealthy people are at the top of the structure, that you have to be a certain height, a certain weight, that you have to be a certain build, you have to have a certain level of intelligence. All of those things are also boxes that you have to check. And there are way too many Black men who are okay with checking the man box, but don't realize that they don't check any of the other boxes, maybe one or two other boxes out of like 50. And you still don't fit. Like, if it were down to the same eugenics that you're employing, you would be walking in the line with us. Yep. Like, you still wouldn't. They're gonna put you.
They're gonna put you right in them chambers, right along with them with the women's too. You gonna be Auschwitz too, nigga. Right along with the women. They're gonna make you dig the ditches. You gonna dig the ditches, and everybody.
And how convenient.
I wouldn't want to be a part of that.
How convenient is it to create a system where you don't have to be smart, rich, or strong to still benefit from it?
Hey, that's it. Hey,
Make that make sense.
Dare I say it's genius. Dare I say it? It's genius. The system is genius. I ain't gonna even hold you. The motherfucker genius, but it's evil. It's evil genius. Like, that's all it is. Song for the kill. Go ahead, and then we gonna open up the. I'm gonna open up the panel. Go ahead, Song.
All right, thanks, Pub. I'm gonna be real quick, and then I'll drop down. I just want to state the obvious here, which is that Mr. Religious actually got it backwards. So men created hierarchies. They created these power structures because they wanted to abuse. And that's why women don't want to participate in them. And that's why women don't abuse when we get into positions of power. We don't see, as a group, we don't seek that out because we're not starting from a place where we want power over others in order to abuse them. And that's, he started from a place of having it completely backwards. It is not power that corrupts. It is that people who are corrupt seek power over others.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Like
wanted
that.
to say that, and then I can drop down. But thank you. I appreciate all y'all up here.
No worries. No, I appreciate that. That was well said. Venice said, put I'm not waiting on the t-shirt. Vanity told me earlier that white man did say the N-word. I forgot he did. That's why I blocked him. Teresa said he used the word paradigm. Public drop him. I think he used it wrong. Sure, baby. Swery said, Satan gave us informed consent if you think. I do think, and I like that. That's a good take. Teresa said, Matthew 20:28, Jesus strongly opposed to hierarchy. Drop him and let Pastor BPG explain. That's 7 on his dome. Jennifer said, is it time to vote Black Muslim off? I mean, if you want to, we'll put that on there too. That look like 9. Look like 9 total. Go ahead, Moon. Go ahead.
I really ain't come up here to like.
Bet. I'm gonna bring everybody up real quick. I want to make sure everybody get a little chance. I'm about to. My baby got a bathe now, so. Oh, she dropped. Okay, well, go ahead. Who is that?
It's Bree.
What up, Bree?
I'm so happy to see you live. You just don't know, man. I be missing you, man, in these TikTok streets.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'll be around.
Yeah, but I just came up to say something real quick. The reason why women don't abuse power and don't abuse on a large scale is because we make the biggest sacrifice for human life. Every single human being, women make the sacrifice for every single human. It takes literal our blood, sweat, and tears to bring every single human being on the planet onto the planet. And you would think that because we make the biggest investment, it'll make more sense for us to be over, be in places of power. Because if we have to do this, then that means that we're going to put more care into life itself. Mm-hmm. It costs us our bodies. It costs us our lives in a lot of cases. So I don't like that's bare minimum. Like me personally, once I became a mom, when I look at people, I think, what did that woman have to go through in order for you to walk around me or to cut me off in traffic? Like, before I think about, like, maybe bludgeoning somebody in the head, like, I'm thinking, oh, there is somebody who is going to weep over him or her. Because I know now as a mother what it took for me to bring my babies into the world. And I think that is what sets us apart from men, is the fact that we have a special connection to life itself just because of what it takes to bring every human being on the planet. And I think that, it sounds obvious, but I think people really need to really consider that. Like, you get what I'm saying, Pub? Like, mm-hmm. I don't see why they don't understand. It doesn't. Women don't snuff out people as much as men do because men make their contribution to life is very small. They orgasm and then that's it. It's fun. It's done. But for us, it takes 9 months through labor. When we hold our babies, we hold all of what it took to make that human life. And that's why we hold life so dear. It's not because we're, emotional or whatever the case may be. It's literally because it takes a lot to bring y'all motherfuckers here. That's just what it is. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I made that clear. Like, it's not that, the Holy Spirit keeps us from behaving a certain way. It's literally because we make the biggest contribution to life, and that is bringing it in. So that's why we don't go around just pew-pewing up everybody and spraying up, clubs and theaters and you know what I'm saying, dropping boom booms on hospitals, because it took a lot of our work to bring you here.
You respect it more. I get that. If men actually contributed more, then maybe we would be able to not, you know what I'm saying, to hold those same beliefs and standards. But as it is now, we don't. But we also could just show up more, you know, and contribute more. I think we could develop that connection, but we don't. That is also very good. That point also kind of reflects the fact that men don't substantially contribute to the rearing of children and the development of children because they don't really feel connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, I heard you saying with the physical aspect of it, but you know what I mean? Like, but if you helped to build the child, you know what I'm saying? You actually can, then you wouldn't want to destroy it either. You would be like, nah, like I put all this effort and time and energy into it, but that goes to show niggas really don't be doing that either. They don't do it on the back end or the front end. It don't matter either way.
Exactly, which makes when you do bond with intentional work, when they do things like, you know, have skin on skin contact with their newborn baby, when they take off paternal leave, like actually take the time out to actually bond with their babies. It's intentional and it means something, but they don't even want to do that. And I think that is the problem. Like for women, it's like the consequences built in, right? The consequences, stretch marks, the consequences, losing hair, teeth, all of the things, the pain, you know, sleepless nights. That no one can take that from us. We have to bear that. But with men, it is an active choice. If they made the choice, life would be so much easier for them and for everybody else. But they refuse. It's not God or, you know, the devil or any of that. It's literally decision, and they choose to make the wrong.
Yep. Ashley said, Black, you are a religious dummy, bitch. Come on, man. Sister Knight said, that's the crazy part. Men don't even see the sacrifice women make to create life. They minimize it while also shaming us for not wanting to do it. And then shaming women for raising the kids, which is it's all fucked up. Walking my fish was Gucci, man.
Hello. I was speaking on the religious aspect of things. Yeah, people love to bring religion. There's like three things I learned about religion. People use it as a coping mechanism, a cop out, and there's one more thing that people use it as. But there's this one quote that I love that says, "Your religion prohibits you; it doesn't prohibit me." So we look at the different religions, like Muslims cannot drink alcohol, but Christians can. So I'm like, if you put a Muslim and a Christian in the room, they start arguing about their religion. The argument would never end. So that's why you try to arguments without religion, meaning let's just use logic. So I always have to I really don't care about your religion. Your religion means nothing to me. So let's say I'm Nigerian and I practice Yoruba. You may say, and your wife is having fertility issues. You may say, I'm gonna go to God and pray. From my religious standpoint, I would tell you, you need to go to Oshun. You need to take Oshun to offering. Our religions would conflict again. You're like, no, I need to go to God. Like, no, you need to go to Oshun. So I just tell people, you can't argue religion because it's something you believe, but you can argue facts all day. You can argue logic all day long because that's built into reality. Religion is really like what you believe, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So like,
can y'all drop me? I know I'm repellent.
I got you. I got you. You good.
I also noticed too, and I also when I run my panels too, like I always tell people, let's not argue without religion. And you come to realize a lot of people can't argue unless they use their religion.
Yeah, because religion is a crutch. Like I said, it's not you. If you need to use like, it's kind of like what it's always been for a lot of people. When you couldn't explain something, then you would just say, because God said, because God does, because God, did whatever, right? And that is, instead of you just saying you don't know, you don't have the bandwidth for the conversation, you say, well, nobody does, only God knows. And I'm like, nah, but BBG knows. I know. Walking my fish, he knows. You know what I'm saying? Like, people know. There's studies done on this. Well, I mean, let go and let God. Like, nigga, no. We
use it to, like Nina Simone said, you're letting someone tell you your husband is in the sky. Meanwhile, they're creating theirs on earth.
Yep. Exactly.
Right. And like you said, people, the whole forgiveness thing. Like you said, why do we wait till God's day and Judgment Day, and we'll see. People feel like this. You're waiting, and these people aren't waiting to do what they need to do to you.
Nope. They're not waiting to get rich. They're not waiting to steal your resources. They're not waiting to steal your labor. They're doing all of that right now. And you saying, one day you're going to get yours. No, they not.
Right. So I also bring up, too, like, okay, you know, we say slavery past, we're going to forget slavery, quote, unquote. So I just be like, so where's the Christian values and racism?
I ain't forgiving shit. I don't know.
And segregation. Like, how can God love white people but hate BLK people? Does that make sense? Like, to me, that didn't even make sense. Aren't we all God's creatures? Aren't we all God's people? Then when we tell them that, they look stupid. Like, technically, there's no need for segregation if we're all created by God. Yeah, but they're going to find some religious text to say something. Hold on. Let me see what's in this. Hey, what's good?
To me?
Nope.
Huh?
Oh man. We had that one weirdo. He came up. A stalker came up, y'all. That was crazy. Yeah, no, I appreciate y'all though. Hey, go ahead, Black, if you want to add something.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, listen, first of all, I appreciate the conversation. Whether you agree or disagree, I always appreciate the conversation.
No problem.
But yeah, no, I think, you know, I'm definitely taking some of the points across, you know what I mean? I do love listening and hearing different points of view, so it's always good to learn. I would say that I just want to correct something. First one was when I was saying about men are sinful. If people heard it as an excuse, that's not what I'm making a point. The point I'm making is that from an origin standpoint, that is why people will end up failing, because nobody's inherently perfect. And because of that, from my worldview perspective, that's why I said that both parties, if they had opportunity, it might be done, maybe it'll be done a different way. Let me not say that they're going to do the exact same way. I don't know. Just like we don't. Not
saying men and women aren't perfect is an understatement. Like, because that's not what's going on. Nobody, you don't need perfection to not be considered like sinful, right? In this, I'm saying in this particular example, right? I don't think that, like, if men are responsible for 99% of the problems, then I'm not going to be like, well, that 1%, see, women ain't perfect, so they would do the same. Like, I'm not, that's crazy. No, we do. No. Like that, you did that. You're doing that thing that I just said people do. We know you don't. Don't put that on the us. We know what women, we know, we have an idea of what society would look like if women ran it because they did. We have an idea of what society would look like if, huh?
Oh, what can I get a date or something so I can research it?
Yeah, 1933 in the fucking whatever. Like, what are you talking about? Who can? Where are we?
I'm generally asking. I do not know this. So this is
okay, yeah, no, you can look if you want.
1833.
No. I was being facetious. I'm saying if you want to study it, you can literally just study it. Like, you can just study anthropology. You can study the history of mankind. I don't know years like fucking 9 AD. I'm not a Rolodex in that way, but
I was not a Rolodex, by the way. Sorry.
I mean, that would be that, like, I don't, hold on, brother. Listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm saying that I'm saying that two things. There are societies right now that exist on the planet right now, currently, where men don't run the society.
Okay.
First and foremost. Secondly, again, historically, the patriarchy is an invention. It didn't always exist, right? I know the Bible will say otherwise, but it didn't always exist, right? It wasn't always like this. And we know that when women are in charge historically, it wasn't so much of a hierarchy. It wasn't like women ran everything and men were at the bottom. That wasn't what it looked like. It wasn't inverted. It wasn't an inverted version of the patriarchy. That's not what it looked like. It looked like men and women contributed to society. It looked like representation. It looked like everybody got their needs met. It looked like not a disproportionate imbalance of power in one direction or the other. It looked like children got taken care of and they got prioritized. That's what it looked like. It's not like when you like, just this what I'm saying. The nature of women right now, which I think is the nature of humans. I think it's just human nature. I don't think when you look at women's nature, when you give women power, they don't hoard it. That is not their desire. That's not what they do with it. They usually delegate. They usually share power. They like give a woman, like I'm making this remedial, right, for a reason. You give a woman a plate of food, everybody at the table eats. You give a man a plate of food, only that man eats. Maybe his friend eats some of it. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm saying right now, we can do that experiment right now. Like give a woman, like, you know, they did the little thing with the children. They did the cookies thing where the kid got 2 cookies. It was 3 cookies in total. The kid got 2 of the 3, and then they would see the reaction of the kids. A lot of the kids, boy or girl, they would give it to the parent that didn't get a cookie, obviously, because I think that's human nature to, oh, you see somebody without, there you go. But by the time we become men, right, and we run and we get propagandized and we get desensitized and we lose our empathy and we lose our humanity, if you run that same experiment for men, not only would that one man eat both cookies quickly, he would try to snatch the 3rd cookie too. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if you ran that same experiment for women, they would go, oh yeah, here's a cookie, girl. Yep, I'm so glad. Like, yep. And everybody get a fucking cookie.
Hey, Pop, quick question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that's why kind of like conservative men kind of hate like liberal men? Because like liberal men is more like, we can share the power between our women, we can share the workload between our women, and then, you know, from conservative men, they're like, you're not real men. But I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we understand greed doesn't have to take over. You know what I'm saying? It's actually, it's when you share, it creates more bonding. It creates more of a everybody. If everybody's sharing in the responsibilities, everybody is invested in the community, and everybody will take care of the community better. If you kick people and restrict people from participating in said community, they're more likely to harm the community because you instantly turn them into outsiders. That is what our communities look like. Black communities, our communities look like a bunch of outsiders harming the community because they are pushed to the fringes of said community, right? And maybe not even by us necessarily, but we either don't stop it, we may contribute to it in some way, but the system is set up in such a way that the people who harm the community the most often are pushed to the fringes of the community by the power structure, by the hierarchy. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if a child can't read well at 2 or 3, second, third, 4th grade, they start to fall behind. Nobody helps them. They fall through the cracks. They, you know what I'm saying? And it creates a snowball effect. Now they're 16, 17. Getting a job ain't an option. You know what I'm saying? Being a productive citizen isn't an option. And they were failed by that point, they were failed by everybody in the community, not just the teachers, not just the white T man, not like they were failed by their parents failed them, their neighbors failed them, their friends failed, everybody fucking failed them. You got a homie in your group that don't know how to fucking read. Why are you letting that shit happen? Why you know that? Why you play popcorn with that nigga in English? You know what I'm saying? Like you heard that motherfucker fumble over the word the. You heard him talk about some what's the word? Homosexual. Homosexual? That's what you trying to think. You done heard a motherfucker say that, can't pronounce a 3-syllable word. We all done seen it. So if you just allowing that motherfucker to fall by the wayside, you are now part of the problem. Right? I ain't saying you 100%. You a part of it though. Yeah, you a part of it. You know that nigga guy. Why you laughing at him? Why you ostracizing him? Why you telling the reading is for dummies?
You know what's worse though?
What the fuck?
What's actually worse is that's not even what happens. What happens is that's when they perpetuate the hierarchical structure the most, and they go, well, as a man, you know, I understand what he's saying. As a man, I understand what he was trying to get.
Yeah, they
don't the behavior.
They justify it and rationalize it. That be the wickedest.
They justify it.
That shit is crazy.
Think about the just vast amount of times you have heard men say, as a man.
Yep.
As a man.
Boys will be boys.
It's like what should be like, as a man, I'm going to pull you in and let you know, like, hey man, you're very wrong about that. That's not correct. You know, this is the correct way.
I can't correct no other man.
You want me to hold another man accountable? It's like, I just asked you to help me read the book. Like, that's literally it. All I was asking you was to lift that finger up off that paper and help that man phonetically figure out how to pronounce these words so that we don't have to waste all of our time trying to help him continuously. Like, it's literally, men live in a consistent state of like being in the emperor's new clothes. Like, they are constantly validating each other on, yeah, that's just how men is. That's just, see, men don't gotta be smart because we work with our hands. Okay, you can work with your hands, but who's going to read the instructions?
Oh, fuck.
You're literally like the IKEA shelf is collapsing.
Hold on.
Because you don't want to read the book.
But niggas don't be reading it though. That be the problem. Hey, hold on, wait. I'm niggas. I don't be.
You see how I didn't correct you though?
Hey, I just had to keep it a bean while we was on the subject.
It's very easy to fall into that. Like, women are consistently, I find myself even in areas of expertise, I find myself over-explaining myself just so it's clear, like, hey, I'm open to correction if you feel like this is not how that goes. Even when I know, like, this man is, he majored in, medicine or whatever. I majored in film. I can tell him exactly verbatim whatever it is he needs to do in film. And for some reason, this man who majored in medicine is going to tell me how to properly do my job. Like that, and that happens a lot.
That's every day.
That happens and I do mean every day.
That's every day for sure.
And I think that's the vast difference with how women lead and how men lead. Men aren't even open to the idea that they could be wrong.
You know what's crazy? Women don't give you direction unless they know where to go.
Yeah.
And men go out of their way to tell you where to go when they go out of their way to give you direction. No. Especially when they don't know. Especially when a nigga don't know he want to lead the way. It's the phenomenon. I'm sure it's been studied, but I need to see the study on it because I'm like, nigga, you don't know what the fuck you talking about. But it creates an inferiority complex in the man, and he needs to reconcile that. So now he's like, I gotta be the leader. And it's like, nigga, you don't know how to get there, bro. Shut the fuck up. Dunning-Kruger. That is what I knew it been studied. See, I knew it been studied. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect. Yep.
I was going to ask you guys this.
Yep.
I was hosting a live where we were just kind of like talking about like mental health and like therapy, like what's called. So the young man, I forgot what the part was. Oh, why do men suffer in silence? Because he was like, so I was like, why? I'm like, so why do you think you need to suffer in silence? He's like, because women don't understand. I got a wife, I can't talk to her because she's a woman, she don't understand. I'm like, okay. So why don't you go talk to your homeboys, the men in your life? He said, well, a man don't want to be burdened with another man's issues. So
hey, the thoughts be so circular. I don't know how them niggas don't get dizzy.
Like this palm to the face. I'm like, the key to your cage is in your pocket. Like, and he's like, well, what do you mean by that? And like, we were talking about therapy. Like, well, why not go to therapy? And he's like, because there's men on the panel. It's like, bro, go to therapy. It works. Bro, go to therapy. It actually works. Like, it really helped unblock my mind and, remove these roadblocks. Like, even if you don't have access to therapy, you can talk to people. Because he's like, why do you keep saying that? I was like, do you think you're the first person to go what you're going through?
Wait, have you ever seen Good Will Hunting?
I actually have never seen.
I knew BBG. I didn't mean to ask you because I knew you did it. That's the craziest thing. You didn't have to tell me. I knew you did it.
That's true.
I knew you did it already. Has anybody else seen Good Will? But okay, if you haven't seen, if you watch Good Will Hunting though, in there, the main Will was the main character. He goes to therapy. He goes to a bunch of therapists or whatever, right? And he's just like being an asshole, and I don't need therapy. That's what he was saying the whole time. And then he goes to Robin Williams' character, he's a therapist, he's a psychologist, and he goes to Robin Williams' character, and he like tries to therapize. It's one of the best scenes ever, though. I swear to, I mean, like it's it's great. Like if you got to see the movie. It's fucking crazy. But yeah. Anyway, long story short, that is kind of like how men function. I believe in therapy for the most part is like they're in there being completely disingenuous in therapy, which is like, why go? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even hold you. I did that shit. I went to the doctor one day. I lied to my doctor one day. Swear to God, I lied to the mother. Don't ask. In the moment I froze up. I lied to the doctor. Then I came back. I told the truth, whatever. But I did lie to the, and because I thought about it, and I was like, because I was scared. That's why. But long story short, though, when I thought about it, I was like, why would you lie to the doctor? Like, who does that hurt? You think the doctor give a fuck? The doctor don't care. You only hurting yourself. So then I went back and was like, hey, doc, I lied. He's like, oh, no worries. And we ran the test and everything was cool. But but men do that all too often. I think nowadays in 2025, I think men are being bullied into going to therapy.
Uh-huh.
And then when they go, they're not actually doing the work. They're just going to therapy to say, to me, men are going to therapy so they can learn the damn verbiage and weaponize it. That's at this point.
I don't think they're going at all, if I'm honest with you. Right.
Some of them don't. No, BBG. Some of them are going. Some of them are. Some of them niggas is going. I can tell. But somebody said they're going out of spite.
Right. I'm trying to tell them, well, sir, like basically, even like let's remove therapy out of the equation. You don't have the money for therapy. You don't have health insurance. But talking to other people can be therapeutic. Why? Because other people have been in your shoes before. There's people who've been on the planet before you. There's people who've been in this situation before you. They can walk you through what you're going through because they've been there already.
Yep.
So that's what I'm trying to tell them. Like,
or wait. In therapy, I just want y'all to know, I don't give a fuck if the doctor been there or not. Them niggas be having the tools to help your ass out. Like like that's the thing. Like you don't have to. I don't go to if you have an oncologist, they don't have to have had cancer to fucking be a great oncologist. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to actually go through the thing to know how to combat it or to know how to give people the tools to help themselves out of that situation. Like that shit is crazy. I don't need, by the way, in Good Will Hunting, Will needed Robin Williams' character. He went through it. That was the thing that connected them. I don't need that. I don't need you to, you know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I kind of prefer to go to the motherfuckers that ain't been all broke down and beat up by the world. maybe they won't be so goddamn cynical. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go to a happy-go-lucky suburban motherfucker that ain't ever been. Yeah, nigga. Did you read them books though? That's what I wanted. Did you read them books? Do you have some common sense? Do you have empathy? Okay, cool. We can keep it pushing. That's all I care about. I don't trust. I'm good. There's a time and a place when I want to talk to a person that has gone through the thing that I've gone through. I think it is beneficial in certain instances. At the end of the day, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. I never question a therapist. Like, have you been married? Like, you can be a marriage counselor and never have been married, and you might be you might be actually dope as fuck at being a marriage counselor. I know people that played that coach professional football and basketball, never played professional football and basketball, and they're some of the best coaches on the planet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to do the thing to be good at it. If you want to be good at it though, and you study it enough, you will be good at it. That's the thing. I don't think like, oh man, you got kids? How you gonna tell me how to raise my kids? You don't have kids. No, you could. Some of you niggas need to. There's studies done on child psychology and like doing certain things don't help it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, maybe you got the goods. Maybe walking my fish don't got no kids, but he got the goods on that. I'ma listen.
But I think that honestly does come from being around women and really being able to see them like win at the idea of like just hearing people out. Like I have gotten some amazing advice from people who don't have kids. Like they don't have kids. They, but some things it just makes sense. Like if you're telling me something and it makes sense, if that's just, you know what I mean? And I think that that's okay. I
I think for a lot of men, it's very hard to receive the idea that this person isn't, I don't even want to say isn't an expert, but that this person that you don't consider an expert or who should be struggling in an area that you have, been in for a while, it kind of pisses them off the idea of this person being able to give them an idea of what it is they should be doing.
And you know how that,
really bad.
and you know when you flip that around, how stupid it sounds though to think that just because a person is married that they know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a bunch of married people and people in relationships in terrible fucking relationships for 50 years.
Do you think that comes from, like you said, like being a man? Like, how come I didn't know that answer? I'm a man. I'm supposed to be the leader. But I'm like, as a human being, nobody knows everything.
You don't know most shit.
That's the game of manhood, though.
Welcome to manhood. Yeah.
That you should know all the things all at once. And truthfully, like, it's the one thing that I just genuinely, of many things that I love about being a girl, is that I've had friends who, on their first baby 18 months old, and they helping me with my 14-year-old. But I can be receptive of that because, again, I'm open to the help. I'm willing to get to the bottom of the answer because my ultimate goal is for my kids to thrive. It's not for me to be right.
Yeah.
It's literally the win is the goal. And for men, they want not only the glory of the win, but they want to know that they came up with the strategy, they came up with the idea, nobody helped it. And it's like, who even cares? Like, let's win all together. But even that has historical context. We talk about all the time how in hunter-gatherer societies, the reason why the men were getting eaten and the women weren't is because of the fact that men wanted to go out and hunt on their own and prove that they could go out and like unalive a wild boar by themselves, and they was getting eaten by the boar.
You know what's crazy? That you made me think about that. That whole rites of passage is so goofy, and that is where it comes from, is men just needing to prove to other men for some weird fucking reason that they can be the biggest asshole in the camp. Like, I just don't, it's just weird, man. Like, men are we really got some demented,
it's also what you said about sports too, though, because men love talking about how sports teaches them team effort and blah, blah, blah. But the other guy who actually was up here said that it's not about team effort, because there's one guy and this is the part I never understood about sports. I don't watch sports, so forgive me if my examples are backwards. Every time I've watched a sporting event, there's the one guy at bat, there's the one guy with the ball, there's the one guy who's running down the court, who people are screaming and cheering from, who, the captain or whatever, he's the top guy. He's getting paid the most. The people are paying to come see this person. He's signing the most autographs. And the rest of the team, like, you may have a couple other people who are in the starting lineup that gets acknowledged, but for the most part, there are only a few men on that team that actually get acknowledged for the team effort.
They do.
Everybody else, they do, but they don't.
No, I'm saying to your point, only a few do get acknowledged. I feel you, but the concept is, unless you're talking about like tennis or whatever, but in boxing or whatever, right? But like, no, like when you play football, the fucking line, everybody has to do their. They're not all being acknowledged. No, yeah, but
and they definitely not getting the same compensation.
They're not.
They're not being compensated in the same way, because you have people who have, who are on the team, who are, participating, they on the field, but you got one person who making $50 million, you know what I mean?
I think they do it based on importance too.
My bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, but there's one person making 50 mil, and then there's another person who's barely scratching the surface of making 300K on the same team. And like, that man never advocates for the other guy. They never talk about like trying to figure out how to split that ante up. It's always KB.
Hold on, wait. A bid. You can come up, brother. It look like you the only hater in here now, but we gonna mute you for the live. Next time we just gonna go on and block you. Go ahead, BBG.
Yeah, it's always the one dude who's getting all the attention. I don't know why my family keep calling me. Every time I'm on live, they want to call me like crazy.
Black Black said we've been insulting you this whole time. You know you could talk, brother. You got a mic. You could just unmute it and talk. I would love to hear what you're saying. Who is insulting you?
I was just saying that.
Are you talking about in the comments they've been insulting you? Yeah, okay. Yeah. They're gonna cook you in the comments.
I was just explaining that to some people.
Yeah, no, they're gonna cook you in the comments. You got it.
You know what I mean? It's cool. I'm listening. I'm still here. I'm listening. It's just sometimes just taking it in. That's all. If you know. Yeah,
no, that's cool. You had said something earlier though. I forgot. You had made a comment when BPG was talking. What were you saying?
What was it? Was it about what, men and protection or something like that? Or?
Yeah, you said we don't want women hunting. You said yes, wouldn't want women out there hunting because we are to lay down our lives for women, but that's not true. Men aren't expected to lay down their lives for women.
Okay, again, from my point of view, men are if they're in a relationship with that woman, typically they are called to lay down their life for women. Yes.
Can I ask you a question? In a relationship. In a relationship, generally speaking, in most relationships, right?
Yeah.
How often, what percentage of relationships are men called upon to lay down their lives for women? If you had to guess?
I don't know.
Like how often do men risk their lives? In general, what just take a guess. Okay, you know what? Here, I'll ask it in this way. Because when I ask for a percentage, I think even that's too specific. Do you think in the majority of relationships, at some point in time in a relationship, a man is required to potentially lay down his life for a woman?
Yes, I think in majority of relationships, they should be called to that. Yes, they're called to that.
Okay. And can you give us an example of something of times when men are, asked to or expected to lay down their lives for a woman in a relationship?
Oh, if something like physical was to happen,
Hold on. Let me take it back. Let me take it back. I know. Let me take it back because you already misinterpreted what I'm asking you. I'm asking you, you have to tell me the thing that happens, the greatest example of this, and this is happening in the majority of relationships. That's what I want to know.
Well, again, I'm going to give the example of, like I said, if it's like the example was hunting, right?
No, not hunting. Not hunting. That wouldn't be a good example in a relationship. Hunting is a community.
Example I was given. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but hunting is a community thing. Mm-hmm. Hunting is a community thing. Like everybody needs to eat in the community. It has nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying? Like if you live in a community, it's not I hunt my food for my family and you hunt your food for your family. Like the men go out and hunt. The women. Now, what the best hunting parties would be men and women mixed together.
I mean, again, I would say that the reason why men don't want that again is because of the fact, again, for women, the fact that they have children, and that's a safety thing for them.
Men have children too, brother.
No, they don't birth them.
No, we don't birth. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Yes. Their responsibility, though, to protect the children falls on both parents, correct?
I agree.
So both men and women have children. So if the child is already here, then why is the man expected to lay down? Like, it doesn't make sense. But again, hold on. Now, I love that you brought up childbirth because do most women give birth to children? Yeah, most women have children in their life. Okay. Yeah. Is childbirth an inherent risk to a woman's health in life?
Absolutely.
So is it safe to say that most women are asked to put their life at risk at some point in time in their relationship?
Absolutely.
Okay. Now you see how easy that was? You see how that example was easy and we all know it's true? I asked you to do the same thing for men and you can't do it. So wouldn't that stand the reason that most men actually don't put their lives at risk for women, but women are requested to put their lives at risk for men and humanity in general?
But that wasn't my original point. My original point was that wasn't it wasn't.
I'm about to lose it. That's why they talking shit about you, Black, in the comments, because that type of shit right there is crazy.
Every time I'm trying to make a point, it gets flipped, because that's not the point I'm actually making. For instance, when I talk about sin, that wasn't actually the point I was making. There's an original point I'm actually trying to make. I am not saying that every single time, right? Or there's even that happens so much in this modern world that women's lives are that men are literally laying their lives down. What I was saying was that men are supposed to lay their lives down for women. That's what I was saying. I never said that it happens all the time. I never said it happens most times. I'm saying that that's what men are supposed to do.
It never happens.
And it doesn't. It's not never. There are people that not. There might be men who never do that, but there are men who do. You know what I'm saying?
It's never. It's never. That 0.001% of men that y'all talk about doing harm in the community is actually the 0.001% of men who actually lay down their lives for their families. That does not happen. And we can look at the numbers of women who have lost their lives at the hands of their partners and or in childbirth, trying to continue that family. Like that much is a fact. That much is a fact. The consistency of women laying their lives down for the family far outweighs men laying their lives down for the family.
Men don't. You know what? You know what though? Hold on. Wait. Black. Hold on. Wait. Men don't lay. When men are requested or expected to lay their lives down for women, who are they protecting the women from?
The physical example, but in essence, when we lay down your life, right? Again, I'm coming from a biblical standpoint, so that's probably what I'm saying. Right? What? Okay. Am I not allowed to say that?
Yeah, you shouldn't say that.
Can I ask the question?
Go ahead.
Actually, let's do that.
Go ahead.
How many men in the Bible lay down their lives for their wives?
No.
On top of my head, I can't think of any on top of my head.
You can't think of any, can you?
No.
How many women in the Bible lay down their lives for their families?
I can't think of anybody off my head.
There are a few.
Okay, go for it.
Who in Jezebel?
All right.
Talk about
Rachel,
Rahab, Rachel,
Leah,
Sarah,
Mary. Sarah had a baby after she was quote unquote childbearing age. After she had surpassed menopause, she was 90-some years old.
God damn! But they used to live. But the Bible said that we used to live. The Bible said we used to live until we was 933 years old back then, though. So we was living in dog years back then, right? Methuselah was like 894, some shit.
He lived 900. It's like 960 something, but he lived 900 years with multiple families. You know what he didn't do? Lay down his life for none of them.
That's how he lived 900 and some odd years, nigga. He never.
He outlived wives. He outlived multiple women.
Even like when we talk about, like you said, if we're quote unquote from Black's perspective, well, men lay down their lives for women to go to war, but you're really not laying your life down for women. You're laying your life on the line for another man.
Yeah.
To get the resources.
Mm-hmm.
And we claim it for the women and children, you know.
Yeah, y'all. And the thing is what I wanted, removing the Bible for remove the Bible, keep the Bible in it. I don't care. Men are always laying their lives down for women if and when they do in these theoretical scenarios to protect women from other men. Right. So how can you say that men are expected to lay their lives down for women when men are also expected to be the people trying to take the women's lives? See what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense.
Or even this pop like this.
No. Hold on. Wait. I want him to address that. How does that make sense? Huh?
Say the point again. Sorry.
If men are in these scenarios, men are expected to lay their lives down to protect women from men, right? But on the flip side of that, then that means that men are expected to be trying to take the lives of the women. So how are you ignoring that part of the equation?
Well, hopefully I'm not trying to ignore that part again.
You're not trying to, but you are, though. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You're not trying to do it, I don't think, but you are ignoring it.
Because I'm answering a different question to what you're answering. That's probably why I'm
No. It's all the same. It's all intertwined. They're directly connected because one can't exist without the other one, right? We wouldn't need to protect women if men stopped harming women.
No, I agree. Yeah, there's a lot.
So they're intertwined. That's what I'm saying. So again, how can men be expected to lay down their lives to protect women while simultaneously being the people most likely to take the woman's life.
Say it one more time.
Oh my God. How can men? Okay, I'm not understanding it. Maybe I'm missing. Okay. No, I'm not. It's just frustrating because I feel like I'm saying the thing. Okay. What do you think? Hold on. What do you think I'm trying to say right now? What have you heard?
Every time I'm trying to say, okay, I don't get that point, or I don't get that point, I'm being respectful. I get insulted by your audience.
Okay, I'm not. You can.
I just want to hear what you're saying.
You can cut the comments off. You can cut the comments off if you want to.
But the whole point is that I'm trying to be respectful, and I'm respecting you, and I'm hoping I'm going to be respected. But I don't feel respected in the moment. So sometimes I don't feel respected. I'm thinking about debating, and I don't want to debate. I actually want to hear what you're saying. So if I say, can you repeat again? It's not because I'm trying to flex it. I'm really trying to hear what you're saying.
Okay, this is just so we're clear. This is the third time I'm going to repeat, maybe the fourth time. That's why it's frustrating for me. So please understand. So again, in one breath, you are saying that men are expected to lay down their lives to protect women. Okay, we both know that the person most likely that's going to be trying to take a woman's life is a man, correct? Okay. So if that is the case, then how can we be the people expected to lay down our lives for those very same women while simultaneously being the people most likely to be trying to take the life of those women? How does that make sense? Essentially, another way of saying it is we can't be the protectors and the predators, correct?
We can't or we can?
We can't. You can't be considered both protector and predator simultaneously as a group. That doesn't make sense.
Oh, okay, as a group. We say, okay, it's a group. Yes, I understand that. Yes, I'm thinking on a micro level because I'm thinking to myself, as a man, you're supposed to lay your life down for your woman. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And then my group, though, unfortunately, are going to be the predators as well.
Well, because you're saying as men, so now you're talking about the collective. So you're saying as men, we're expected to lay down our lives for our women.
Yes, we are.
And then, but hold on, that's where the conflict comes in. Because again, back to what I'm saying, we can't be the protectors and the predators. That doesn't make sense. So we're either one of the two in this scenario, and we are the predators. We're not the protectors because once you become the predator, you are no longer the protector, right?
If you're talking about group level, yes.
Okay, so now we can stop saying that men are actually expected to lay down their lives for women because we're not.
No, they still are expected to.
And that's why they're disrespecting you because when you're not listening, hold on, brother, you cannot be listening to what I'm saying and still disagreeing with me. That doesn't make sense. Logically, that's not a logical reaction or response to what I just said. That's illogical. So you're either being willfully ignorant or just ignorant. And either way, it is annoying and it's off-putting.
I don't think I'm being ignorant. I just don't actually agree with the point. I said already, I conceded some ground and understood where you were coming from. But I also said that we are expected to lay our lives down. We are supposed to be protectors. There are other men out there who are not going to be protectors. They are predators. That's what I'm saying to you. So men are supposed to lay their lives down. Are women,
can I actually, hold on, wait. Are women, hold on, wait.
Actually do.
Hold on, y'all. Wait, I got it. Hold on. But I got a question for you. Are women predatorial? Predatory? Said predatorial. Are women predatory? As a group, yep.
No.
Women aren't predatory, right? As a group. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. Do women protect? Okay, cool. So since they are not predatory and they also protect, I can call them protectors. They are actually expected to protect. Right? Okay, cool. Are men predatory?
Yeah, some men are predatory. Yeah.
No. As a group. As a group.
Yeah.
Yes, men are predatory. As a group, men are predatory. Most men are predatory as a group, right? So most men are predatory. Most men are not protectors. So how can we be the protectors as a group, meaning in general? Hold on. See, You talking while I'm talking. There may be a reason why you're not able. Okay.
Apologies.
So how can men be as a group? How can men be when you say men are something, that group is something, you're speaking for the majority of the group, right? There are more predators than there are protectors in that group. Therefore, men cannot be protectors because we are predators. Women can be protectors because they're not predators. You see what I'm saying? That's how that works.
Okay.
Like logically, that's how that works. So you just saying no, like, well, I disagree. Like, that's why that's frustrating, because why would you, how can you disagree? How can you agree up until that point? And then when I say the last thing, you go, no, I disagree with that. What are you talking about?
I think because when I'm having an argument, I disassociate the macro and the micro. So some, like, for instance, when I said men are supposed to be, for me personally, it was on a overall basis, we're supposed to be that's why I said the word was supposed to be. As I typed in the chat, it was supposed to be. I used that word originally when I first started it by saying men are supposed to lay their lives down on the ground for women. That's what they're supposed to do. Now, are men doing that? They're not always doing that, no. But I never disagreed with that point. My point was, the original point was they're supposed to do that. That's where we're supposed to, that's our role as when it comes to relationships. You know what I'm saying to you? That's what my point was originally. So I agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying my original point wasn't that. My original point was we're supposed to lay our lives down.
Go ahead, Vanity.
Let me do that long Negro spiritual side first. Okay. To call a man a protector is similar to a firefighter who also happens to be an arsonist, or a serial unaliver who helps you look for where somebody might be missing or buried.
The people they unalived.
Yes.
Like, nigga, what?
When they come out to help you with a search, or
when a crackhead steal your shit and help you find it, nigga, you is not a hero.
Your dictator in chief is like absolutely a pro at doing this, in that
yes,
he causes a whole bunch of mishigas and then says, "I have come to solve the problem."
He never fixes the whole problem. He fixes a part of the problem.
And then says he did a lot.
Yep.
Right. But the reason why I initially requested up is I wanted to explain why rites of passage was dumb. Rites of passage, for the most part, is only really done for the boys. It's that boys to men, pipeline, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally one of the first forms of competition between men and women, and it might have been one of the reasons why we flipped from a matriarchy to a patriarchy.
Mm.
There is a perceptible time when a girl becomes a woman. And that is when her cycle starts.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes, a lot of rites of passage for the men was some form of, bloodletting to say, hey, we can do this too.
Mm.
And this was their way of saying, oh, they become something and they're able to create something when this transformation happens. And, to like those types of minds, whether they thought it was spiritual or religious or magical or whatever it was, they wanted the magic too. And so oftentimes a lot of different cultures would go and they would cut the genitals, so they would also bleed.
Mm-hmm.
They would stick their hands into like a pit of fire and stuff. She was crying because she has cramps and now I have pain too. It was the first form of competition to say, hey, we can do all that too.
We're strong too.
And that is why oftentimes it's not smart. Dare I say
it's dumb as shit. Risking your life to prove that you are a man is stupid as shit. It really is stupid.
Because like one thing for sure, two things for certain. People, the first profession would be midwifery, right?
Mm.
Would be like helping to birth, birth somebody.
They said it was prostitution, but that never made no sense to me.
No, only for a man system.
Mm-hmm.
For a man system, that's the first woman job.
Facts.
But in humanity, the first would be, you know, to bring life in, you know.
I can think of many jobs that making weapons, making homes and shit, fashioning, tools,
Yeah, but like since the birth of patriarchy, like men have been like very crotch level in their thinking, and so therefore, you know, prostitution gets the gold at that point. But for them to be able to say, hey, I did a thing, because when you see like a woman like go through the transformation and then eventually become, you know, pregnant, and maybe they knew how it happened, maybe they didn't, depending on where they were in the world. And then you saw her, you know, grow and grow, and then produce a whole entire mini human through great pain and agony and possible unaliving. And you want to like come up to that level, you want to equal up to that, you want to say, you know what, like I'm on par with that,
Mr. Me Too.
Then you're gonna have to, so now you're gonna go out and, you know, hunt a saber-toothed tiger by yourself, or now you're going to go and like cut some stuff, or go wrestle a crocodile, or something to say I'm a man.
So is it safe to say that men's strength has always been like of the artificial type?
It has always been of the artificial type. Do they have more upper body strength? Yes.
Yeah. We know about that goofy shit.
Yeah, but we also have to understand that if you look at most like hunter-gatherer societies that still exist today, men and women are pretty much on par with size. We are literally in Western cultures, Abrahamic-based cultures, the women are literally bred smaller. You're literally going and snatching up somebody's child who's literally a child, and you start breeding her, and you're always looking for the smaller ones and everything to do. So with the more egalitarian the countries are, the people are on like
around the same height. Like, I was thinking like in Sweden, they be them white men and white women, they be around the same size a lot of times. They be real close.
Anywhere where it's pretty egalitarian, they're almost on par when it comes to size.
Damn, I never thought about that.
When you start seeing large differences in size between the men and the women and everything, is usually more patriarchal and it's stuff. Because we're literally bred smaller, because to this day, if you're going to be like Megan Thee Stallion stature, the reason why the girlies love her is because like we will climb her, but the dudes will be sitting here is like, oh no, she's a man, because she's on par in size. She might be able to do a thing. She might be able to, you know, fight you. Even when you all were talking about sports earlier, the main reason why we don't play sports together, and it's because women were beating the men. In a lot of sports, women were beating the men, and the men could not take it.
Damn. Let me read some of these real quick. Akiku said, current matriarchal societies, the Kashi, the Mosul, the Migna Kabao, I don't know, that's a lot. The Akan and the Bribri. Sister Knight said, women lay their life on the line every time they have a baby, and that is when they are at the highest risk of being unalived by their men. Yeah, that's really disgusting. Yeah, I appreciate that though. That was a whole word. Hey y'all, but I'm about to wrap this thing up. I gotta wrap this thing up. I gotta get ready to skedaddle. I gotta make sure I give myself enough time to do what I need to do before I leave. I appreciate everybody coming up, man. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to everybody on the panel, all the mods. One Love, One Thug, to the tappers, yappers, and super chatters, man. Shout out to the best minds in the business, all the old subs, all the new subs. Y'all know what it is, man. Hold on, I gotta get this little rub, this little teddy bear. He need this shit. I'll see y'all next week. We'll be back next Sunday, man. Are you not entertained? I had a good time. Oh, go in your cage. Nope, go get in your cage. Oh man. He always eating some human food, man. I go live every week on Sundays. around 2-ish. Thursdays. I cannot. Thursday's the worst day to go live for me. My babies get out of school early. I love y'all for real though, man. I miss y'all, man. It'd be fun time. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. The videos is up. We got some new ones up every day. I had fun. I had fun. I had a time was had, y'all. A time was had. I love it. A time was had. We'll catch y'all later though next week, man. We out of this thing. They banned me on